Welcome into the Fan Speak Network. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me, as always, is my co-host and partner, Mr. Andrew, the TD King, Rob. Happy Friday Eve, sir. How we doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good, man. Underdog dropping contests left and right for us. They threw out the Greyhound a few days ago. Got my entry into the single entry Greyhound. Then today they released two more on us with different ways to draft, especially for all those people who hate how the pod luck goes for them. You don't got to worry about it now. If you just want to go in and get, cumulative points from week 15 through 17, it's available for you now, man. Underdog, I'll say it again because we talk about it all the time. Underdog is the best in the biz when it comes to anything like this. They are innovative, and shout out to Hope and Numi. They have been kicking ass and releasing all these sweet ass contests. So good on them, good on Underdog, and I'm happy to be a proud partner of them.
Yeah, absolutely. You go use promo code FANSPEAK. You'll get a 100% deposit bonus match up to $250. We love all the good stuff that they're cooking up over there. I got to say, I'm a little envious of the no pods just because I'm so pot committed to Best Ball Mania. I may have to get a couple of stabs at that, but listening to the people, hearing what people like, what they don't like, and then leveraging that for the product, absolutely love it. For Underdog, obviously we're huge users of them. We get our fair amount of money out of our pockets into theirs. So, but obviously it's a good time. Tonight we are talking running back twos. It is the RB2 conversation. Gonna dig deep into the depth charts, see who's listed as RB2s on each team, whether it be based off of their ADP and Best Ball Mania, or if it's just their depth chart lineup. The tie will go to ADP, and then after that we will jump into a Best Ball Mania live draft. Be sure to smash the like button, share the video, follow the channel. Best ball summer is here, as Andrew alluded to, with all the goodness that Underdog is cooking up. So we are going to continue to get ready, continue to prepare. Let's get the board up here so we can start the RB2 conversation. We're going right down the ADP order. First up here, Andrew, we've got Sir David Montgomery of the Detroit Lions, round 7 draft capital. What are your thoughts on Montgomery this year? Are you buying or selling him at his current ADP?
Still buy. I know he's like, I think he was going around 9 or 10 last year, which was obviously a smash. I'll still take him around 7. I mean, what's really going to change for them, right? The philosophy stays the same. 1-2 punch. I know we hear that Gibbs is going to be more involved than he was last year, and I do believe that to a certain extent. But David Montgomery, man, like he's one of the absolute best RB2s in the game right now. Can very dependable around the goal line. I love David Montgomery, and I mean, if you ask me the question of do I think he's going to finish better than RB19, I think it's possible. I think that's probably a good line for him, RB19. But still, I mean, he's an awesome 0 RB target. If you really want to get a guy that has good touchdown upside, which is what we love on Underdog, David Montgomery, very good value there. And what's that say? 199 points last year. I mean, I feel like that's obtainable again, but it's going to have to come differently. I don't see him getting another 13 touchdowns. That's probably going to regress a little bit, but can he do double digits? Can he do 10 in total? Yeah, I think that's still possible.
All right, so you'd have the under on his 199, averaged 14 fantasy points per game played. Also the under there as well.
That's a good question. That's probably a good line too. I'll probably take the over on that. I don't think he's going to be as effective, but he's still a great target. I mean, it's not like you're going to take David Montgomery and then have 4 running backs on your roster, right? He's going to be part of a 5 or 6 RB build. So I still think that you can rely on him to be, your RB 1 to 2 in a 0 RB build. He's just on a great offense, has a good offensive line that's going to get into the red zone and get green zone looks. And I never really saw the whole Gibbs is better than him around the goal line aspect of this. And I mean, I guess we'll see when training camp comes out, but I still think that they're going to use them, pretty much in the red zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And you brought up a good point of just how you're working him onto your rosters, maybe as your 3rd or 4th running back by round 7. I think 4 might be a little bit tough unless you really start heavy. I mean, if you're doing like a 4-3 starting off that way, I think that, again, might be a little bit more difficult going 4-3 in favor of running back to start your draft. But
a lot of situations, like I meant like you're if you pick him as your RB1, you're not only gonna have 4 on your team in total. You're gonna
Oh,
have
okay,
he's gonna
gotcha,
be part of
gotcha.
a 5 or 6 RB build. Oh my god, no, I'm not. I don't think I'm going that route of taking 4 running backs before I take 4 wide receivers. Like that's a bit much.
I don't hate it. I mean, we're getting into the RB2 conversation. I did a draft the other day where I did 3-7-6-2. I did have to prioritize the 6 receivers to lead off, but I didn't hate with what I left with, and I did start off 1-1, one running back, one receiver in that one. So I'm pretty much with you here. I'm taking the unders on the season totals, that's for sure. I think it's going to be hard to replicate 13 total touchdowns. I did not have a receiving touchdown, did not get a lot of receiving work. And if Jahmyr Gibbs is getting more action, then I can, arguably bet that Montgomery would have less than 15 total catches if they used him similarly to the way they used him last year. What I do like about the situation is same reason why we like Jameson Williams. They really didn't bring in a ton of weapons, right? Like they lose Josh Reynolds. They don't add any other running backs. They don't really add any other receivers. Even if they were to float out like a Jerick McKinnon or something like that, or even another receiver, I still have to believe he's going to be at the top of their priority list. They still gave him a nice chunk of change recently, so I think that definitely boasts in his favor as well. I'm really okay with the ADP. I'd like to get a little bit more if I could, maybe that round 8 or round 9 if people start really gassing up Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's move over to Jaylen Warren. What are your thoughts on him this upcoming season? Again, a little bit more of a richer ADP. We've got RB2s here in the top 10 rounds. What are your thoughts on Warren?
Yeah, I like Warren. I mean, now that Arthur Smith is there, we just saw what he did last year in Atlanta with Bijan and Tyler Algier. So I mean, this is a great spot for Warren and Najee, right? I like both those guys. I'm fine with Warren. He had 165.9 points last year. I think that's a pretty good line for him, honestly. I mean, 61 catches, 784 yards on the ground, 4 total touchdowns. I think that the touchdowns could come up a little bit. Yardage probably stays the same. Receptions is where I'm not sure. Like, I don't think Najee's that bad, with the receiving game. So that one's kind of a little tricky for me. But as far as like where he's going around 8, who he's going around as well, if you take a look at those guys, like I feel like that's a very good spot for him. And again, another good 0 RB target, in round 8 and 165. I feel like that's a pretty good line. I would probably take the over a little bit now that Arthur Smith is in town. But still, I mean, him and David Montgomery very close for me as far as what I think they can do, production wise.
Yeah, and I think you're going to continue to see that split. That's how they wanted to run things for the most part the last few seasons with Harris and Warren. I still lean in favor of Najee. When I'm doing my builds, I really only get Warren when I'm getting him after ADP because I do believe you're lacking a lot of upside, not getting as many touches inside the red zone. I do believe that's Najee's dominant attribute or most favorable situation. He's just going to get used a lot inside the 5 versus Warren, who will get his fair share of opportunities, but Najee will take the bulk of the load. The receptions is tough. I have to feel like he's going to come down a little bit. And what is that? 370 yards he had on 61 catches.
Correct. Yep.
I'd like to see that be a little bit higher too. Maybe you'll get a little bit more efficiency with a more efficient QB, whether it be Fields or Russ Wilson. But again, this is someone that I'm looking to get after ADP. I'm not like in a rush to get Jaylen Warren because of the situation is so split. We just looked at David Montgomery, who had 13 rushing touchdowns as an RB2, and obviously he's the top RB2 available. But Jaylen Warren, that's you're looking at like 9 less touchdowns. Like that's a huge amount of upside that you're lacking. Between the two, let's see, Montgomery was at 14 points per game. Jaylen Warren was only at 9.8, and they're at a very similar ADP. So again, this is not someone that I'm necessarily rushing to grab. I don't think it's a terrible value, but I would like to gain more. I would definitely want to get more exposure to him, 10, 15 picks after his ADP.
Yep.
How about Mostert, who's coming off the board as round 9? He's someone that I've liked as, getting either like my second or even my third RB in a lot of builds.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I know we got, Achan there, but he has shown that he didn't stay healthy the entire year. He's a smaller guy. Like I really like Mostert again. I don't really see a whole lot that has changed there as well. I mean, he scored 255 points. Can we expect that again? I don't think so. That's a shit ton.
Yeah.
18 touchdowns on the ground, 3 through the air. I mean, 21 total touchdowns. If he does that again, then this is an absolute smash spot. I don't see that happening, but still going as RB29 round 9, even if that comes down to he scores 190 points, right? Like it's still a good spot for him. That would be what about Montgomery did last year, and this is 2 rounds later. This is about where Montgomery was going last year, I believe. So
Right.
again, a really good spot. And if you've noticed, Montgomery was round 7, Warren round 8, Mostert round 9. Honestly, that's not out of the realm of possibility for you to get all 3 of these guys. That there's a potential for it. I think it's going to be a little hard to do so, but there is potential there. And I would love that start if I go 4 wide receivers, maybe a tight end somewhere in there, and maybe a
Hmm.
quarterback, and then get these 3 guys as my running backs. I would absolutely love that. So really like Mostert. I'm with you. High powered offense, pretty decent offensive line. They can't rely on Tua to throw the ball. He's not Patrick Mahomes, right? So they're going to want to run the ball. And maybe we get another game when they put up how many points they put up last year? 70, 69, something like that. I mean, if we get that again, he's going to have one of those weeks and just absolutely be amazing. So love Mostert round 9, RB29. I think he finishes better than that.
Agreed. Yeah, he's going to outplay the ADP for sure. I'm also going to smash the under on per game production, season overall production. I think I don't know. You said 190. I think like 160 to 180, maybe a little bit more appetizing or at least more realistic, just because they did add a third guy that they're maybe not going to prioritize, but they're going to get him touches, and it's going to
Yeah,
nag
that's
us,
true.
and it's going to it's going to bother us for fantasy week in and week out. So I'm going to take the under there. He had 17 fantasy points per game last year. That is a huge number. There was only maybe 2 other running backs I think that outpaced that: Christian McCaffrey and Kyrene Williams on a per game basis. Absolutely crazy, just absolutely crazy at his age. Next guy up here, we've got Trey Benson, a little bit more of a question mark, a rookie with no production, but coming off the board at RB30, round 9, very similar to what we just saw from Mostert and his draft value. Where are you at with Trey Benson right now? I know you're not huge on James Conner, but is your passion, your anti-Conner passion enough to get you Trey Benson at this cost?
I would like him to fall into the round 10, 11 area. I don't think that we're
Hmm.
going to see that because, again, James Conner, as you alluded to, I'm not a big James Conner guy. I see the value in Conner. I just worry that he's getting older. They've used him a lot last year. I mean, there's some tread
Hmm.
on the tires, but not a ton. Trey Benson was one of my favorite running backs coming out of the draft. And if he wouldn't have landed here, if he would have landed in a clear number 1 role somewhere, I think that we would see him going way higher than he is now. So love the opportunity that's there towards the end of the year for him. I do see him, potentially supplanting James Conner as the RB1. If that happens, then this is probably a pretty good value on him. They play in a dome on a team that he's probably going to catch, more passes than people think he, potentially could. So I
Hmm.
will grab him. It's not somebody I'm rushing to grab at the round 9 ADP right now, but if he falls a little bit, that's somebody I do like. Again, I think that he has a clearer path to an RB1 role than some of the other guys that we're going to talk about. So I will definitely have some exposure to Trey Benson.
So I want to play, choose your fighter here around his ADP.
Do
So
it.
Trey Benson or Javonte Williams.
Still Javante as of right now.
Okay. Devin Singletary, Trey Benson.
Trey Benson.
Interesting. Brian Robinson Jr., Trey Benson.
Damn, that one's tough for me because I don't know what the split's going to be in Washington yet, and I really like Eckler. So I'm going to
Mhm.
say Benson, but that's really close for me.
Okay. Nick Chubb, Trey Benson.
Benson. Just because Nick Chubb, I don't know if we're
You
going to
don't
get.
know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that
I get it.
we
I
might
get
see
I
him for
get that
6
one.
games, right? Yeah.
Uh, Gus Edwards, Trey Benson.
Mm, that one's tough because I really do think the Chargers are going to run the shit out of the ball. I'll say
Mhm.
Gus Bus right now, but that again for me is pretty close.
All right, I'll do just 2 more. Austin Eckler or Trey Benson.
Eckler,
Tajay Spears, Trey Benson.
Benson.
Okay. I mean, there's a good mix of what you'll go with or not go with essentially at his ADP. So realistically, at least according to you, he should be probably 4 to 5 spots back. A lot of these guys I'm taking over Benson at least right now. Javante, Singletary. I've just been taking so much Eckler that I just have to pivot to Brian Robinson. So I would
I
probably
mean,
say him right now over him.
here's the case I also think about with guys like this is that
Uh-huh.
okay, let's say Connor goes down. Where do I think he then should be? And when I look at some of those other guys, I don't think that they have the true upside that Trey Benson does. And it's probably because I like Trey Benson a lot as a football player. I really think that he's again a little underrated. One of my favorite, coming out of the draft, like I said. So I think more highly of him, which is probably why I look at that. And I just look at the end of the year. Like, this isn't somebody I want to rely on right away. Somebody I want to get, good value on, that I can rely on at the end of the year. And I think that's where he slots in. And that's why I like him more than, like, if Singletary is pretty much the guy right now, I don't see him moving up. If James Conner goes down in OTAs or training camp or something of that nature, Trey Benson's going to go way up. I'd rather get him now. Like, there's no case for Singletary to happen. And same thing with, like, who else you say? Tajay Spears. Like, I don't really see, even if Pollard would, go down, I don't really see him bumping up a ton as opposed to Benson. So again, I look at it like that.
Okay. Yeah. Again, like I said, I would right now, I would rather have a lot of those other players behind him. But if you're taking into like adjusted market cost, like, what's to come, that's a good point. And I don't mind taking a few more shares of him. I have some exposure to Benson. I just don't have a ton. It's typically, again, when just these guys are falling, because in our May drafts, like, you just see like crazy value for running backs. Like, Nick Chubb, who we were just talking about a second ago, like, he has fallen to me like 20 plus picks after ADP. I'm going to do that every time. I'm not even going to blink. So yeah, if I get Benson, 10, even 8 picks past ADP. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's smash that. Let's get us some. No issue there. Over under 150 fantasy points this year. I'm going to say under.
Man. Under, if Connor stays healthy the entire year. If not, I think that that's an easy smash for him if Connor goes down, let's say before week 6.
The complete disrespect for Amari DiMarcado. Unreal.
Okay.
Next up, we've got BRJ, Brian Robinson Jr., also known as the guy that was shot a bunch and then came back to being a football player.
Many men do wish death upon him.
That will not be the only musical pun this evening. I promise you that. I'm surprised that Ginder hasn't, jumped into the chat about Darren Waller yet, or, comparing it to a Swifty situation or whatever. But, long show to go here. Long show to go. A lot of RB2s to continue to pound in on. Speaking of pounding, smash the like button, follow the channel. Let's get to it. Brian Robinson, still a very good situation for me this year. I have not been buying him into his ADP because of literally what I just said. Is I am just buying so much Austin Eckler. Today, I had to do it. I had to take Brian Robinson Jr. at ADP just so that I didn't take Austin Eckler 12 spots past ADP. To be fair, the guy like right before me took Eckler at the very next turn that I had, and I was going to double tap it. I was like, screw it. I'll just take Eckler too.
I have done that fallen. I've double tapped him once.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, the value for both of these guys is crazy, given the fact that this team is going to run the piss out of the ball. They are going to do everything to try to protect Jaden Daniels. And when Jaden Daniels is performing well, he will probably also be running, which feeds into rushing running backs, right? Guys that are looking to rack up a lot of yards. And if folks are buying, like, Eckler is past his pasture, like he's set out to fail here, Brian Robinson's a huge value. I mean, both of them are going into the same round 10, round 11 space here, but I just have no issues buying him at his ADP, and he feels like a more reliable asset than, like a Trey Benson, who we just covered. So, like, this is a guy that I would absolutely move up ahead of him. What are your thoughts on the situation, you being so close to it?
Yeah, I mean, again, like, this is something I'll really be watching during training camp is, who's running more with the ones and what, who's in on pass protection. Like, it's going to tell us a little bit, more at that time. So right now, I'm with you. I'm cool grabbing either guy. I do lean Eckler right now. I mean, they went out and got him for a reason. He's older. They're going to run him until there's nothing left. I truly do believe that. Brian Robinson's an awesome complementary guy. I do see them potentially getting a really good 50-50 split in the red zone. So again, I'm with you. I think they're both very good values. Brian Robinson going round 10, RB33. I think he'll finish better than RB33. So it's a good value.
That's fair. Yeah, definitely going to outperform the ADP, and that goes for both of them. All right, next up we got Tajay Spears. Tajay Spears, he had 52 receptions last year. I don't know. I don't know
when I looked at that.
I don't know if Trey Benson gets up to a number like that. Like, when I'm looking at like total yards here, like you're looking at like what, 700, almost 800 total. You like to see some more touchdowns, but he's playing behind Derrick Henry. Now Derrick Henry's gone. And I'm sorry, I like Tony Pollard, but he is not Derrick Henry. I have to imagine that this is going to be a very favorable split for people that do draft Tajay Spears. I just don't know if Tony Pollard is going to be that guy, that's, getting you 12 to 15 fantasy points per game week in and week out in this offense. I think Callahan coming in, he is going to create some disformity for the opposing defenses. He's not going to make it easy, and I think he's going to interchange these guys pretty heavily. So I'm very much in favor of Tajay Spears coming into this season. He was like one of my late round sleeper targets to identify early. Again, just very good situation. It goes from a run heavy team to a pass heavy team. Tajay Spears with 52 receptions as a rookie behind Derrick Henry. Do you think he can get 65 plus?
I think it's possible because I do think that this offense throws the ball more than what they've ever have. I mean, look at what Brian Callahan has done, with the Bengals. I think that they threw the ball a lot more than people probably thought they would. And obviously they had Joe Burrow, and that kind of makes sense, right? But they threw the ball a ton. That's the thing I don't know with Tajay Spears is what's his ground numbers going to look like? Will he be the one that's used in the red zone? Is it going to be Tony Pollard?
Probably.
If not,
I would assume it's Pollard in the red zone, but 4.5 yards per carry. Like, what do we need to know? What else do we need to see?
Yeah, but like, how much are they really going to give him the opportunity to do that, right? Like, you don't go get Calvin Ridley and keep DeAndre Hopkins, and I don't think that they do all this to then just run the piss out of the ball like they did with Derrick Henry, right? Like, I think that I think his value comes through the air. And we know that, I mean, look, he had 1 touchdown through the air on 52 receptions. An underdog, you want touchdowns like that.
Sure.
This isn't DraftKings and all that. You want touchdowns. So that's my fear. I like Tajay Spears. I just fear that, like, what opportunities is he going to get to actually run the ball? And the other thing is, obviously, we forget that he had an injury? People were like, does this dude have knees anymore? Like, he had the ACL injuries. And so I worry about that as well. We didn't see it last year. But does that come to fruition this year? Are we going to buy into? I don't know. I don't mind taking him. I think round 10 is an okay value. Me personally, if I'm going to take him, he needs to fall a little bit for me to feel good about it.
Yeah, and that's fair. But because all these guys are going to do that, like, they're all going to slip in one of your drafts for sure. Yep. So what I'll say about the volume is that he's definitely going to have more no matter what. That's 152 touches. I don't know how many targets he had, but I have to imagine he is eclipsing somewhere between 185 to 215 touches next season, right? And based off of his per yard touches, I want every bit of that production at this ADP. So not someone that I'm looking to maybe be aggressive with and move up, like a Calvin Ridley in that offense, but someone that I'm definitely comfortable at where they're priced. Like, I'm okay definitely taking him right where he's at.
He had 70 targets for on those 52 receptions.
Okay. So if you again, so on 152 touches plus the 70 targets, that's still a fair amount of opportunity. Again, playing behind a dominant ball carrier or, possession of the ball in Derrick Henry, right? So he's gone. Pollard isn't that guy. Like, he's not going to demand that type of share. And we've seen Callahan have those splits in the running back with the running backs in Cincinnati. For some reason, I was about to say Carolina. But in the damn Super Bowl, we're like, why is Samaje Perine on the field? The game is on the line. What are they doing? You know what I mean? I mean, it's a testament to, his trust in the secondary running back, right? So I just think he's going to have a very active role this year. Over under 127 points from last year. I'm going to say over.
I think that is possible over. Again, if he gets over that, then they gave him a decent amount of rushing opportunities. That's where I'm going to hang on to is what are they going to do there?
7.5 points per game last year. I will also say over.
That's fair.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have Chase Brown. Speak of the Devils, we should say, the backup RBs for the Bengals. Didn't really do a whole lot last year, but did flash. He highlighted some speed, some strength, some very good running acumen. I think you're just really buying into this situation this year more than anything. Okay, Mixon's gone. We like what we saw out of Zach Moss, but is that enough to be like a lead guy? It feels like it's going to be a pretty even split, and I don't think they're really going that far away from each other. What are your thoughts on Brown? I'll pull that up right now, like how far away they are.
Yeah, I like Brown. This is a good ADP. I like buying guys that are on good offenses. This is going to be a good
Mhm.
offense. I think Brown has more talent in him with opportunity than Zach Moss does.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I think talent wins out eventually. Like this is a guy that I know that I'll probably get more production out of him as the season goes on, which I'm
Mhm.
completely fine with taking. I want to have the most bang for my buck at the end of the year as opposed to the beginning of the year. I think Zach Moss is a better beginning of the year guy. At some point, I think the changing of the guard happens and you see Chase Brown become the de facto RB1 on this team. I
Yeah.
think it's a very good value here. I expect him to finish better than RB38.
Yeah, I mean, I have no disagreement to what you just said. As far as what I'm doing is I'm just drafting whichever guy falls, and it's most commonly Chase Brown, but more so recently, I've been able to get some more Zach Moss shares because, he's just falling down the board a bit. Zach Moss, ADP 92, Chase Brown, ADP 120. So a fair amount of separation there. You have about 28 picks. It's about 2.5 rounds, 2.25 rounds. So I am always typically looking for the better value, which today is Chase Brown. As you said, maybe that can change as we progress through the offseason. I think that ADP gap, it probably shortens the closer we get to kickoff, because I just don't think that there's any interest in the Bengals or any benefit for the Bengals to be like, Chase Brown's our guy, Zach Moss is our guy. Why would you tell the world like who you're gonna run the ball with the most?
Yeah.
Why show your
That
cards when you don't have to?
Yeah, so I mean, and I agree with you. So with that, people should be drafting Chase Brown now and not so much Zach Moss. Wait for the Zach Moss fall a little bit, and then grab him at that point. I think.
I think, again, right now, either of them falling from their ADP, I think is perfectly fine. Especially like if you're doing a Bengals build and you're just like, hey, I got Burrow, I got Chase, and Zach Moss is right here at ADP for me. That's okay. I don't have an issue with that. Blake Corum, talk to us about Blake Corum. If I
Yes,
remember correctly, you've been talking up some Blake Corum.
yes. Take Blake
Yes.
Corum. Yes.
Oh, that's
Um,
it. That's the take. Okay.
Ky- that's it. No, Kyron was awesome last year. I will give him his
Oh,
due there. He was great around the red zone, and what does
a
Sean
little bit.
McVay always do is use his guys. He likes to use one running back. But Kyron already has a little bit of a foot injury going on right now.
Mm.
They drafted Blake Corum for a reason. He was awesome around the red zone in college. I I think that this could be a guy that we really talk about next year that is way up the board as opposed to where he is right now. I love Blake Corum. I am, and if he becomes the one, there's no turning back. Like without an injury, Sean McVay shows us this all the year in and year out. He loves using one guy. I really do think Blake Corum's going to get that opportunity and not lose it. So this is somebody I will definitely be drafting a lot of at his ADP. If he
Mhm.
falls, definitely somebody I really want to take.
He's
And
not.
I expect he's going to rise more than fall
Yeah.
for sure. Really like Blake Corum, really do.
I think you're right. I think he is going to rise because I just never see him fall past ADP. I always see him go ahead or right at or within a pick or two. Everybody's really on top of him, and I guess that's really my only concern is when the public, like the majority of the public, is going right. A lot of times, out of principle, I just go left. And that may keep me from drafting him now. Maybe that means I have to draft him at a more expensive cost because I really don't have a lot of Blake Corum right now. Some of these other guys that we've been talking about, I've really been soaking up at their ADP or, after their ADP in this like round 10, 11, 12 space, which a lot of these RB2s are sitting at in that round 10 through 12 space. I just don't have a good read, I guess, enough on the situation. I've been perfectly fine with Kyrene at his ADP. I know that you've disagreed with that a little bit, as well as Puka Nakua. But this offense, not just led by Stafford and Sean McVay, but the running game in general. Like they're going to run the ball, and I think that's why people are so taken for Blake Corum, why they're actually interested in him. So
Yep.
I really have no argument because that's just really what the public is doing. I don't have an argument not to take him there, other than the fact that just everybody is doing it. Everybody that I talk to is in on him, and sometimes that makes me a little bit more hesitant. So we'll say over under 150 fantasy points. What do you think?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think over. Yeah. You know what? I'm taking over for sure.
That's roughly, let's say, 8.5 fantasy points per game. I'm going to take the
That's
under at least on the game per game average.
that's doable. I'll take it.
All right, fair enough. Next up, cha
Yeah.
boy Jerome.
Yes.
Ya boy Jerome. Interesting situation, because now we're getting into the weeds, right? Like we're getting a little bit deeper in the RB2 conversation. Smash the like button. This situation, I don't think we really know who's going to be the week one number one. Like, just because we read reports that Nick Chubb is running on land, not a big news flash, right? Not really breaking news. Like, yeah, he's going to continue to get better. We really need to see, what he looks like physically in a football game after an MCL and LCL tear, right? Like that's huge. And I still feel like there's going to be that bounce back period where even if he is ready, even if he is playing somehow right away, he's not getting more than 10 touches a game. Like this could be a situation where, per the ADP, yes, Nick Chubb is going ahead of Jerome Ford. He's listed ahead of him on the depth chart, but Jerome Ford could in fact be the de facto number one RB this season for the Browns. What are your thoughts on this situation?
Yes, and yes. I was way on him last year. I'm way on him this year. He's my number one exposed running back right now. As we sit here, I don't understand RB41 for a dude that's gonna be the starter to start the year. Like that's no doubt in my mind. I just I don't understand it. Like I think it's gonna keep going up because we're gonna keep getting through the summer, and Nick Chubb is gonna be getting better, but probably not gonna start the year. And then you're gonna see it just go way up. Everyone's gonna realize like this dude's gonna be like this guy's Jerome Ford is perfect to pair with your favorite rookie running back that's probably not going to start the year for you. The Trey Bensons, the whoever you want to put out there, Blake Corum, right? Like Jerome Ford, by the time the changing of the guard potentially happens for him, where Nick Chubb does come back and then is the one again, those other guys are probably going to be potentially a one on their team. So I absolutely love Jerome Ford's situation. I love the ADP, love round 12. I mean, he was awesome last year when he did get the opportunity. I mean, look what he did in week 17 for the people who believed in him. He had a great game against the Jets. Like, I just don't see the downside in taking him here. All I see is upside. You said about when Nick Chubb comes back. I want to see what Javonte did coming back last year for his carries per game. Let's see.
They let him in pretty slowly, I want to say. I mean, he had 217 attempts, 774 rushing yards. I don't know how many games he played, though. I know he missed, I think, maybe 4 for a hip flexor.
I mean, actually, it looks like he played a majority of the season. I mean, there's a lot of games here, but I mean, they started out.
Yeah,
13,
he didn't miss a lot of time from it. I think he only missed like I said, like 4 games.
Yeah, there was a game against Chicago that he had 2 carries and then he got pulled. But he had 13, 12, 11, 2, 10, 15. Then they ramped him up a little bit, 27, 21, then back down 11, 13, 7. So like, do you think that's when Nick Chubb comes back? Do you think that what Javonte kind of did last year as far as carry total is what we would see from Nick Chubb, or higher or lower, let's say averaging 11 a game?
That's a tough question. I would say over, just based off of like if he's ready to go and he's and the team is in agreement, like, hey, one of our best players on our roster is healthy and he's ready to play. I just don't see them not doing that, like giving him just easy carries up the middle. Like I don't think they're going to ask a ton of him, but I think that he will and could potentially be a detriment to Ford's value down the stretch. He averaged, was it 11.1 fantasy points per game. I think he's hitting that, kind of like you're saying, like to start the season. I think he's clearing that threshold. Down the back stretch, I think there's a very good argument that he does not, and that he probably still finishes under here.
I look at it differently. I look at it as, so if the Browns are in the hunt for the playoffs, won't they want a fully healthy Chubb for the playoffs as opposed to, kind of been using him and now, potentially get him injured again? And the other side of that is if he does come back, Jerome Ford was used when Nick Chubb was there, right? Like it all comes back to Jerome Ford ADP is ridiculous right now. I think that this is going to go way higher. I'm taking him a ton right now.
No, I love him ahead of a lot of these guys that we just discussed. If we're playing, if I'm playing Choose Your Fighter and I'm looking at him versus the guys that are above him, I'm just pulling up the list here. Zeke, favor of Ford. Corum, favor in Ford. Chase Brown, favor in Ford. Spears, I'm going to take Eckler ahead of him. Gus Edwards, I will take Ford ahead of him. I have, but I don't need to just because of the ADP. Nick Chubb, don't need to take him. I can just let him fall. And again, I've been doing that plenty. Like I just mentioned earlier, like if Nick Chubb is falling 15, 20 picks, I'm going to pick him. I definitely know I've done a couple of builds with Chubb and Ford both. Singletary, he's a better option, but again, you just don't have to like take him above him at that ADP. Trey Benson for sure. I already mentioned him. Just as comfortable taking forward as Zach Moss. So, I mean, for me, he should definitely be up maybe like 10, 12 spots at least in ADP, making him a great value today. And I agree with you. His cost will rise once the public gets a little bit more in the know that, you know, Nick Chubb's not going to be back right away, or at least not be back 100% what he was.
Yep.
This next guy up here, I'm just not that excited about. I haven't drafted a ton of them. Zach Charbonnet. You look at the yards per carry, nice, but I just figured he would have been used a lot more last year with a banged up Geno, Kenneth Walker being, we'll say, good but not amazing. I just thought that he would be more of something in year one, and I'm more concerned in year two because you have a new offense. I think they're going to use JSN a lot more. I think they're even going to include Noah Fant a little bit more in the offense. I just don't know if there's going to be enough mouths to feed here for Zach Charbonnet to have an immense role without an injury to Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to a certain extent. The new coaching staff coming in is what interests me. Maybe they like Charbonnet more. If they do, this round 12 ADP is going to probably be a very good value for him. So I like Charbonnet. I liked him last year. I think that he's going to get more than 89 total points this year. That's for sure. It's a good offense. You know, I think they're going to be a little bit, you know, high powered of an offense as well. And I don't think that we see Ken Walker just completely dominate the red zone, green zone, you know, opportunities either. I think that we're going to see Charbonnet there. So I like Charbonnet at his ADP. Not somebody I'm like headhunting for, but somebody I'll take.
I'd put Sam Howell out there for a running play over Zach Charbonnet. Just saying. Just, you know, throw him off a little bit. Throw him off. Howell's got legs, you know.
He does.
You
know. I know. I want them to keep Howell. Don't remind me. All right, let's just.
Andrew never wants a flashy new quarterback. Just keep the mediocre guy. No upside. That's where we like
him an offensive line. Damn it. That's all I want.
Yeah, exactly. I will agree with you. He probably finishes over his previous year total. Just maybe grabbing another 30 touches as a year two guy.
Yep.
Just not very excited about Zach Charbonnet. All right, next up we've got Mr. Rico Dowdle. That is, again, weird situation. They signed Zeke Elliott, and he is sitting up top of the ADP and even the team depth chart per RotoWire. What? Like, come on. It's like, yeah, they just like called Zeke back and like, hey, we got your job sitting here waiting for you. So Rico Dowdle, you're the two. I think that Dowdle is probably a pretty good value. This is going to be an offense that's still going to score a lot of points. Zeke is no spring chicken. I think he's going to be used, but not more than 12 touches a game. I just have to feel like Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn are going to get included. Deuce Vaughn coming back from an end-of-the-year injury. I think that Dowdle has some upside here. I know that he didn't have a ton of touches last year, but they did trust him enough to come in and steal some goal line carries from Tony Pollard. I wasn't happy about that when it was happening, that's for sure. It's like, who is this guy? What are they doing with him? Come on, Tony Pollard, what the hell? And so, yeah, I got a little bit more familiar with Rico. Again, the stats from last year aren't amazing. It's more of just his attachment to an offense that didn't really reload. What's another offensive acquisition that you can name other than Zeke?
I mean, nothing really, right? Like,
nothing.
No.
Nothing. They added Zeke Elliott. That's what they did. That was their offseason offensive turnaround. What? Huh? I think there's an opportunity here. I don't want to overload myself with exposure, but this is definitely an option that I feel it will become more expensive. Like the market will shift on him. I can easily see him climbing up to RB35, RB33.
I'll make it easy for you here. I'm not going to draft a whole lot of Rico Dowdle. I mean, I'm looking right here. Jerome Ford, Zach Charbonnet, Marshawn Lloyd, Kendre Miller. I'll take all those guys over him. It's murky. I think they're going to throw the ball a shit ton. I'm out on Rico.
All right. Look at that slim build. He looks like a young Alvin Kamara. You don't like it? You don't like it?
Nope.
He's a cowboy. You ain't going to like it. I'm going to say over last year's total, 83 points. I'm going to say over. I think that's pretty easy.
Fine. I mean, better situation, but
I got you to say something nice about him. Smash the like button. Love it. Marshawn Lloyd, go ahead. The floor is yours. You just talked him up a little bit. I have certainly said many nice things about him, coming into this offseason ahead of him being a Packer. I like the situation.
I
What do
mean,
you
look
think?
at his picture. He looks like he's about to kill somebody. Like, I
Oh, we're using
absolutely
the
love
pictures
that.
now.
I wanna.
You're in.
Oh, I love this picture. Look at this dude. He looks like he's gonna
Look at
kill
this guy.
somebody. He looks determined. Looks like he's staring at the end zone, like he's gonna make it his bitch. I
He's
like
staring at
Marshawn
that
Lloyd.
god awful ADP, round 13.
This is I like this ADP for him. I mean AJ Dillon out on AJ Dillon. Get the fuck out of here. It's Marshawn Lloyd. I know they got Josh Jacobs. Fine, Josh Jacobs is okay. I would rather take Lloyd at his ADP than Josh Jacobs at his ADP. Yeah, I'm in on Marshawn Lloyd. Let's go.
That was awesome. Josh Jacobs is okay. He's all right.
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
He's a
He's
good running
fine.
back. If he did what he did 2 years ago, he's gonna be awesome. If he did what he
Yeah.
did last year, meh.
No, it was just so funny how you just like echoed LaFleur when they were interviewing him, like, oh, so you got Josh Jacobs now, right? You know, a lot of times you were just giving like Aaron Jones like 60% of the touches, and he was like, yeah, I like Josh Jacobs. He's pretty good, but you know, we'll have to see. I don't know. It's like, what? You can't even commit to
Vote
the
of
free agent.
confidence. Love it.
Yeah. Get out of here. All right, so cool. 70%. Right on.
Yeah.
No, LaFleur loves to implement multiple backs into his offense. That obviously makes Lloyd a very good buy candidate. I am not such a snob at the running back position as yourself, Andrew, okay, to just completely disregard A.J. Dillon, who they re-signed. He was a free agent, and they brought him back, probably because there wasn't much of a market for him. But regardless, they recommitted. They re-upped on A.J. Dillon and then also drafted Marshawn Lloyd. So I'm gonna go as far to say that all three guys will be included. But Marshawn Lloyd can do a lot. He can play on every down. He can block. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He can run in the red zone. Very good situation. Very, very good handcuff. This is a good situation to buy at. Just don't get overly excited. You don't need to take him ahead of ADP. So all good.
Yeah.
All right,
Kendre
next.
Miller,
Yeah.
baby. Love Kendre. 38 points. Smash that over. Kendre, I mean, dude, Alvin Kamara is getting older. Alvin Kamara hasn't been Alvin Kamara in, 2 years-ish. I like Kendre Miller a lot. I'm not afraid to say it. This is round 13. Great in an offense that plays in a dome. When Kendry was the guy last year, he was pretty good at the end of the season, leading rusher for them the last week, I believe. I like Kendry. I like what he has the ability to do. I do like Alvin Kamara. Don't get me wrong. I would just rather take Kendry, I think, at his ADP and hope that he takes the position or gets more of the load at the end of the year. This is the guy that I'm playing the end of the year game kind of with. Yeah, Kendry is good ADP value here.
I don't really need to pick the secondary running back for the Saints. I just grab enough Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is at a super friendly ADP. I'm not that interested in Keandre Miller or Jamal Williams. So, yeah, maybe he does go over that total. But Kamara actually had a nice little bounce back season last year. A couple of seasons ago, he was a little bit more disappointing. He got north of 70 receptions last year, was a decent threat on the ground. They lose Mike Thomas. They don't really add any weapons there. I'm more wheels up for Alvin Kamara, so I'm just good passing on Keandre Miller here. Let's see, Ty Chandler. This is a very interesting one. You have Aaron Jones coming over to Minnesota. That's going to be interesting. I have to imagine he's going to be used a lot. But again, no spring chicken in Aaron Jones there. I think that Ty Chandler is going to have an active role. I will say he goes over this 90 point total from last year. I'm not sure what his per game average was. Very good yards per carry. Couple of rushing touchdowns, very good yards per reception as well. I just don't know what the QB situation is going to look like, and maybe that gives me a little bit more confidence in the run game in backing up an Aaron Jones with the Ty Chandler pick or just taking Ty Chandler after ADP. But I don't see that happening a lot either. I think the public's pretty well in on Ty Chandler at this cost.
Yeah, I like Ty Chandler a lot, actually. When he played last year at the end of the year, he had some really nice games for them. Averaging. So here, let's go from December on. So yeah, there was that really weird game against Vegas where it was 3-0. He only had 12 carries for 35 yards, but then against the Bengals, he erupted 23 carries for 132 yards. 10 for 40, so 4.0 average. Let's see, he had 12 for 69, 5.8 average. Then he had a 2.3 average game as well. But his yards per carry was awesome. I feel like they can rely on him as a running back. They don't need to push Aaron Jones into extinction, essentially. Like they don't have to push him to the brink, right? Like you want Aaron Jones healthy if you are going to make any sort of noise at the end of the year. So I think they want to keep both these guys healthy. I think we can see more of a 60-40-ish split. And at the end of the year, maybe 50-50, depending on what happens with Aaron Jones' health. But yeah, Ty Chandler just seems like a good value to me in round 13. So again, another good guy I've been targeting when I go 0 RB.
Plays in a dome, week 17. Packers, Vikings, week 17 correlation. So if you're doing those connections and those stacks and those builds correlating to week 17, Ty Chandler's a great chess piece there. Yep. Looks like we're both in on him, but again, it feels like the public is also very in on him. Very interesting situation here with Buffalo. You've got Ray Davis. He's the backup. That bowling ball that they're always looking for, right? Like that low center of gravity guy. They also drafted Frank Gore Jr. I don't know if that really matters much. To me, I'm just grabbing every bit of James Cook that I can get because I feel like his cost is perfectly fine where he's at versus the outcomes of last year. I'm not really that interested in Ray Davis or Frank Gore Jr. yet. I feel like there's kind of a battle still for that number 2 spot, and people are just kind of excited on the draft type of Ray Davis right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm looking at Ray Davis as, can he get a lot of the goal line work? If he can, I'm going to be in. I've drafted him a little bit, more or less to either do a correlation or to stack with Josh Allen and just kind of have that going for me. But I'm kind of just staying off of him, and it's a wait and see approach here. I love James Cook, so again, wait and see. But if he looks like he's getting a lot of opportunities in OTAs or training camp around the red zone, I'm going to be in.
Yeah, and I think by that time, I think the public will adjust on him. Even if he were to come up to round 11 and we have more confidence in his role and we have more clarity, I think it's perfectly fine to take him at an adjusted cost. I have no issues there.
Yep.
Kind of a similar situation with Kamani Vidal. Yep. So you have J.K. Dobbins there, who is technically listed as the number 2 on the depth chart, but Ty goes into the ADP. So Kamani Vidal is the point of our conversation here because he is more expensive than J.K. Dobbins. Again, this is a situation, hey, I'll throw a dart. I'll get a couple of shares. But, he's going to be like my 5th or 6th running back drafted. There's no real priority here. Anything to add on Vidal other than it's just a good situation to be a part of.
Yeah, good situation. But for me, again, this is a wait and see. Let's see what happens with the OTA and training camp.
Okay, fair enough. Over under 100 fantasy points this year. That's kind of like the range that we're seeing out of some of these guys,
probably
like Charbonnet in the 80s.
Yeah, probably under if Gus Bus stays healthy.
I think it's more about Dobbins staying healthy because this team's going to run the ball. We know they're going to run a lot. I don't think they're going to be like the top 5 rushing offense, and people are like assuming, at least volume wise. I'm not saying efficiency wise, just because that's all that everybody is saying. I can't imagine that's actually what the Chargers do. But I feel like the number 2 role here is pretty valuable. But is it Vidal? Will it be JK? Will JK survive? I think, yeah, you're going to have to wait a little bit on that Charger situation. Take your shots. Grab a little bit of JK, grab a little bit of Vidal, mix it up a bit, put it in a blender, chug it down. What do you think, Tyler Algier here? I mean, this guy, look, the results are there, and look at all the names that are going ahead of him. I still think even with the departure of Arthur Smith, he's going to have some usage. We've seen great, production on a per touch basis. I'm still very much a buyer of Tyler Algier, especially at RB50.
Oh yeah, I'm fine taking him. Not somebody I'm headhunting. The whole Arthur Smith thing does bother me that he left, and I don't know. I just don't know what to think about. I mean, you got Bijan there. If I'm the coach coming in, I'm using Bijan a billion times. I don't want to see Algier unless I really have to. So to me, it's more of a stay away currently. Not a bad pick. Like, fine, RB50. Like, I think he's gonna beat that, but it's just, he doesn't really excite me per se. Especially with Kirk Cousins there. I think they're going to want to throw the ball a little bit more too. And so it's a stay away for me right now. But again, I think it's an okay pick for people to take at RB 50.
You know what his points per game were? 7.6. So you're going to say lower?
Yes.
I'm going to say push. Give me another 7.5 fantasy points per game this season. All right. Next up, we got Antonio Gibson. RB2 of the Patriots.
Yeah.
Look at those receptions, though. Pretty consistent.
On Washington.
Yeah, but I mean, the Patriots aren't going to be very good. Like, even if they have Jacoby Brissett or Bailey Zappi under center, they're going to throw to the running back, dude. They're going to throw to the running back, dude. No,
Yeah.
I like Ramondre. I like
mean,
getting both of them, to be honest with you. Just Gibson just feels like a reliable asset in the NFL.
I mean, are they going to sustain drives? I
No.
don't know. Right? Like
No. Did
that's.
Washington? Well, I guess they did last year, but the year
I mean,
before they
kind of.
didn't.
Yeah.
I think he had more fantasy points.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a stay away for me right now. I like Gibson. I like Gibson as a player, but you know what I saw in Washington that he still doesn't know how to not do is not fumble the effing ball.
Block.
Bill,
Can't
I
block
mean,
for shit.
they're not going to love that in New England. I'll tell you that. I don't know. It's a stay away for me. I'm not going to fight anybody on if they want to take him. He's probably an okay last pick for a 0 RB team because again, like you said,
Mhm.
he does catch passes, so there could be something there, but it's a stay away for me right now.
Yeah, I'll give him a couple of spike weeks. Give me 3, 4 at most. Where he's getting maybe over 14 fantasy points. Ramondre Stevenson situation is interesting too. Like he's gone back and forth on injuries before. This team is bad. They could pack it in after week 9, and there could be a wide open opportunity for Gibson to have production. What I'll say, very good way to start your back end Patriot builds. If you're getting the Drake Mays, the Hunter Henrys, the Antonio Gibson, you're taking your shots on Douglas or Baker or Polk or Juju Smith-Schuster, whatever it is, like you can start it with Gibson. Ramondre is the most expensive piece there. So you can literally swing and miss on Ramondre's ADP and start a whole Patriots build to be a little bit unique and leverage a lower drafted, franchise. This is my guy, Jaleel McLaughlin. I got to slow down. I'm taking a lot of them. I'm just not a big Javonte guy. I love him at this ADP. Looking at the yards per touch, 75 carries, over 400 rushing yards last year, 21 receptions, 160 yards. Again, this situation, I feel like Denver's going to be bad. It's very similar to the Patriots, where I could see them packing in at the second half of the year, and they need somebody to just move the ball forward. And it may not be Javonte. Javonte will be another year healthier. He finished off last year, pretty well, but I feel like his chances for re-injury are very high. And when this team isn't winning, there won't be any reason for them to absolutely just kill him. Big buyer McLaughlin.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. I don't have a whole lot to add. I do wonder what they do with Estime, how he works into this, but that's something that's yet to be seen. So as of right now, I'm fine with it.
All right, fair enough. We're gonna say he goes over that total from last year, 90 fantasy points. Yeah,
yep,
agreed there. Chuba Hubbard, he was the man on the poster for this whole conversation. Again, he is listed as the number 1 guy on his team's depth chart, but per the ADP, he's the RB2. He's in the RB2 conversation. Everybody taking Jonathan Brooks ahead of him, despite the fact that Chuba Hubbard's still at the top of the depth chart. And I mean, I get it. There's draft capital that they spent on Brooks. I would believe also that the expectation is that Brooks is going to come in, and if healthy and if producing, it's going to be his role after, post Chubbard, right? Like he's going to come in and take the job. But I still really like Chuba Hubbard. He was a guy that averaged, was it 9.5 fantasy points last year? 9.6, very good value for a team that was really bad. Like he was not super explosive. He got a lot of volume. Maybe that volume goes down, but 160 some odd fantasy points. Let's say he comes down to 120. That's still amazing value in round 15. And again, another friendly situation to start a late round stack, a late round Carolina build. You can get in Adam Thielen, you can get in Chuba, you can get in Bryce Young, Jatavian Sanders. If you want to start taking shots on some of their receivers, I know that Xavier Legette just came up lame on a hamstring thing. His cost will get a little bit more friendlier. God, who's the guy they drafted last year that everyone was bonkers about? The receiver. Do you know who I'm talking about? It's gonna drive me crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's not Terrence Marshall. It's oh my God.
No. I'm going to tell you in like 2 seconds. Jonathan Mingo.
Jonathan
if you
Mingo,
want to
yeah.
get super different, you could work him into something there. But again, you can start it all with Chuba Hubbard this late in the draft. Andrew, anything to add on, Mr. Chibs?
No, I mean, not much. I like Jonathan Brooks. I like Chuba, so I'm fine with taking either or both of them. I think Dave Canales is going to want to establish the fuck out of the run here. That is something that, I mean, look what he did with Rashad White, right? Like, so I think the reason we see Brooks going ahead of him is, one, obviously he's a rookie. People love the whole rookie ordeal, but two, I think at the end of the year we are going to see Brooks being the guy. Like
Yeah.
I think everyone's planning on that, right? If you're drafting accordingly and correctly, you should probably be looking at that if you want to have a chance at large amount of money. But I'm still fine. I agree with you. Very good value here for him. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Let's go.
I will still say he'll take under his season total from last year with the addition of Brooks. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bucky Irving, speedy running back, a guy that can do a little bit of everything for you, especially out of the backfield, can catch passes, has a nice burst to the outside corner. Again, not a ton of priority here, just someone that falls. I'm going to scoop him up. I really like Rachaad White at his value as well. The other day I got Rachaad White like 16 picks after his ADP, and I was like, don't need to worry about Bucky. I'm just fine. So this is kind of, again, a wait and see situation. I think people last year were a little bit jaded from the Sean Tucker experience. Hashtag rest in peace, Sean Tucker. Bucky Irving, I think, is a better prospect, and they also drafted him. They signed Sean Tucker post-draft, so I think there is a little bit of a different commitment level, and I do see Irving getting mixed into the offense, but at what rate? Very hard to decipher because you have a lot of weapons there already in Evans, Godwin, White. I see Cade Otton emerging somewhat this year, so interested to see how he'll be included. I don't think he'll eclipse 85 fantasy points this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with the whole him and the Sean Tucker. Does Tucker do anything in OTAs to kind of make him kind of more of a closer to Bucky Irving kind of deal for the RB2 guy? For me, wait and see. I don't really want to touch Bucky until I really have to. I have got myself in situations where I'm like, I really need a running back, and he was kind of like the top guy. So I did take him, but it's not somebody I really want to take right now.
No, that's fair. Definitely a situation that's not clear. Getting more information is going to be a good thing for you.
Yep.
Another weird convoluted situation with the Giants. You have Tyrone Tracy Jr., top of ADP. Eric Gray, he's on top of him on the depth chart, listed as number 2 behind Devin Singletary. How are you handling this situation? Tyrone Tracy, definitely someone that's going ahead of cost. Like, people are moving him up to round 15, RB46 range. He is definitely a climber right now.
Yeah, I can see him playing like the Antonio Gibson role for the Giants. Guy that's good with the ball in his hand, can catch the ball. I don't necessarily want to take him, but I'm fine taking him, especially at this ADP. I think that's fine. I worry about the offense. That's the only thing for me. Giants offense probably going to blow. That does really concern me. Do they sustain drives? What do the red zone opportunities look like? But I'm okay taking him. I think it's still a decent value for an unknown guy.
I agree. I'm into grabbing him for sure. Just don't want to be too aggressive ahead of ADP. Any shares of Eric Gray in your exposure list?
Nothing right now. That could change. So we'll see what happens in OTAs.
I know you were upset about this one, Khalil Herbert being listed as a number 2, not Roschon Johnson. But like you and I were talking about earlier today, we kind of believe that Khalil Herbert could be on the move. That could create an opportunity for Roschon Johnson to be a number 2 with Chicago. But talk to me about Khalil Herbert potentially backing up Swift in this offense specifically.
Yeah, no, negative. Get out of my face with this. It's Roschon all day for me. I'm not taking any Khalil Herbert unless he gets moved like quickly, and then we see what else happens with him. Then maybe, but as of right now, negative. Ghost Rider. No Herbert for me. It's all Roschon, baby.
Fair enough. They're going at a very similar ADP, so it's like a couple of picks, like 2 RB spots maybe that he's ahead of him. So pick your poison.
Yep.
I am in the camp that Herbert gets moved. The Bears have not been shy about moving a guy that they've drafted at the running back position. I'm perfectly fine with it either way, but I have been drafting more Herbert than I have Roschon so far. See, next up, very popular one here, Dame Pierce. We're getting down to it. We're both in agreement. Team's going to score a lot of points. This is a vastly miscalculated ADP.
I agree. Sold. Take him right now. He's going to rise at some point. They already talked about how they want to use him more, and everything you hear is they want to use him more, and they don't want to put too much on Mixon. And I don't know what we're doing here. This is fucking absurd to me. Take him. Let's go.
Fair enough. I'm with it. Take him around 2 rounds ahead of ADP. 0 issues there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we both agree he's going over the 76 sophomore dip. That's a fact.
Yes.
Another weird situation, Elijah Mitchell or Isaac Guerrero. Which way you going here?
Elijah Mitchell. He already knows the system. He's going to be an easy plug and play if something happens to McCaffrey. It's funny, Elijah Mitchell, when I think of a guy that can get me 0 in a week or 20 in a week, it's Elijah Mitchell, because it's if CMC is healthy, Elijah Mitchell's not going to touch the ball very often. If CMC goes down for whatever reason, which we've seen before, Elijah Mitchell is an absolute smash. I really don't mind taking him. It's not somebody I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to take him. But it's somebody I'm like, if he's my RB 5-6 on the team, I'm fine with it, because he's massive upside if CMC.
I am surprisingly tapping out. I'm tapping out. I have quit Elijah Mitchell. My thought process on this is that they added Jacob Cowing, they added Ricky Pearsall. I think that they're going to get more running back touches out of Deebo Samuel this year. They've built up that wide receiver stable a bit. I think that they're going to focus on getting more touches to Ayuk, because they're actually going to pay him after this year, I believe, and they're going to make it worth it for him. So they're going to get every little bit out of Ayuk at receiver, Deebo at receiver and running back this year. I firmly believe that. I think he is going to be in line for a lot of running back work. So I'm really off of Mitchell or Garendo unless there's a compelling ADP dip there. I'm not really touching them. I've gotten a little bit of Garendo. I don't know if I have a share of Mitchell yet, to be honest with you. Very jaded, very hurt by said Elijah Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell, again, Justice Hill ahead of him on the depth chart. Are you buying either of these guys? Is there actually a number 2 running back or number 3 after Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson? Is there a number 2?
So checking in, Merch got himself. Jake Paquin says CMC due for a few sideline weeks, though. I think that is accurate. Speaking of Jake, he loves Keaton Mitchell. Absolutely loves him. He was talking to me last year about him. I did draft him in one of my rookie dynasty drafts. I think Keaton Mitchell, it's a good pick. I mean, I know we have Henry, and Henry's going to probably get all the touchdowns, right? Or most of the touchdowns. That's the thing that's shitty for Keaton Mitchell. But between the 20s, Keaton Mitchell can be, good. I think that we can see him break off some long touchdown runs. We saw it last year. I think this is still a good value. Again, he's going to be your RB 5 or 6 or 7 on your team. It's not going to kill you if he doesn't pan out. I like taking the upside thought on Keaton Mitchell. So good pick here.
I'm really not heavily in favor of Keaton Mitchell or Justice Hill. I've drafted both of them. I'm not in a rush to get either of them, to be honest with you. I actually like this guy. I like Tank Bigsby a little bit more because I believe that he is actually going to be included in the offense more. Like I'll take Tank at this ADP every time over Zach Charbonnet at his ADP. The situations just feel very similar to me, and I like the Jaguars offense more. And I know that Peterson is going to make a point to get these other running backs included because he loves to run the ball. And if ETN goes down, it's one of the better handcuff options there are, because again, I like this offense more than say I like Seattle in that situation. I know that you've been drafting a ton of Tank, so I'm imagining you got a few good things to say about him.
I mean, he's good. I like Tank a lot more. I liked him a lot last year. Obviously it didn't pan out to do what it did. And I kind of thought that maybe, he would play a little bit better around the red zone, and it didn't transpire. I'm still on him though. RB 62 for a guy that's behind another guy that's kind of small and kind of can get hurt. I love the offense here as well. I mean, really, it's just a good value. I mean, there's really no downside to it. He's going to be your last pick in your RB room.
Potentially your last pick. We have some round 18 options just around the corner here, Andrew. Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm ready to be hurt again. I'm ready to be hurt.
He's just in a good offense. He's just in a good offense. That's all it is. I still think that they potentially bring back a Jerick McKinnon. Maybe they make a move like for a guy like Khalil Herbert. I think there might be some work to do there. But right now, today, we're coming up on May 1st here. CEH appears to be a decent value. I have one share out of 34, 35. Yeah, out of 35, I have one share. So nothing crazy here.
I got more than you. I mean, he's the direct backup to Isaiah Pacheco. We see how Pacheco runs the damn ball. He runs it like he's pissed off every single damn play. I mean, he kills the ground with every move. So you never know. I mean, a guy that likes to make contact like that tends to get bruised. A CEH can come in. I do fear the downfall for CEH is they haven't really truly used him a ton. Will they bring somebody in if Pacheco truly goes down? That's a fear to me. But again, he's going as probably your last RB on your team. I'm fine with it. I mean, he's on a fantastic offense.
The problem is he's on a fantastic offense. He's not fantastic. He's not very good. Like other than that game one
round pick, how many years ago?
Other than that game one up against Houston when he was a rookie, He's been terrible since. Like, he's been god awful since. All right, next up we've got Alexander Madison. Sorry for the photo bomb here. Not in a Raiders jersey yet. Couldn't find it. If you guys want to send it to me, by all means. But this is what I got. All right. Good value. No?
Move along.
No? Damn. I think I like in this situation Zach Moss and Chase Brown. I like in this situation to that, and you're just getting the number 2 guy much farther back. I don't
like
see
the situation last year in Minnesota.
No, I didn't. I'm not really an Alexander Madison guy. Check the tape. I've never been a fan of him, but the situation, I would take him well over CEH. That's a fact.
Pass.
That's a fact.
I'll do that board bet right now.
Fantasy points? Half point PPR?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we should probably put this one on a if they play X amount of games because of CEH.
Yeah, I bet you would like that. I bet you would like that, Andrew. I bet you would.
On a per game basis. That's how we do it.
Okay. All right. Fantasy points per game with a minimum of let's do 10 games played.
Okay.
I got burned with the Deshaun Watson, Jared Goff one. I was not happy about that. So I want to do 10 games played. Evan Hall or Trey Sermon at this ADP.
Evan Hall. Yep.
I don't have an argument for either one. I don't have an argument for either one.
I love how it's 1 attempt for 1 yard, 1.2.
I just see everyone drafting Evan Hall. Like, I just don't know where this knowledge is coming from. Like, oh, well, they drafted him last year, and Trey Sermon's just like not great, right? Like he's a dud, right? I mean, Trey Sermon wasn't terrible when he touched the ball. He certainly got more than 1 rushing yard last year and 1 reception for no yards. So I don't know. This is just what people are doing. I'm not doing a whole lot of it. When I've gotten some A-Rich, when I've gotten some A-Rich and Pittman, I'll work them in, but that's about it. Last up here. Oh, we got 2 more. Sorry. Almost time to draft.
Man, Braylon look at this picture. Look at this one. You selling his OnlyFans on the side. Look at this. What a guy.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Oh, this picture makes me laugh. As soon as I saw that, it made me laugh.
It makes you hard?
Braylon Allen. Man, this is kind of like Elijah Mitchell. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna start this off with Braylon Allen. Again, one of my favorite guys coming out of the draft or coming out of college to the draft. Same as Trey Benson. This dude could be an absolute monster if Breece Hall goes down. If he doesn't go down, do we see him a whole lot? Probably not a ton. I'm still okay taking him here. I mean, RB72 again. All these guys we're talking about now, not really going to kill you if they do nothing, but the upside is there for sure. It's not a bad pick. I mean, I'll not racing to draft him, but okay.
I took my first share today because I made this slide last night. So I mean, you're looking at it. You see what I see. I'm not as bricked up as you are, but I did take a share of him today as my 6th running back when my first running back was Breece Hall. So it was just a little handcuff scenario there with the 6 RB build.
Not bad.
Kenneth Gainwell again. I'm taking Kenneth Gainwell all day. I don't care what anyone says.
It's fine, I guess. Whatever. It's all Barkley. It's Barkley or bust here.
They just continue to use them, dude. They just continue to use them in weird scenarios.
I agree, but the unknown of Will Shipley has me, kind of like, what is really going to, if Barkley truly would go down for the year, right? Like, how's the split going to look? We'll probably just go back to Jalen Hurts runs the ball more. I'm kind of out on the anything but Barkley kind of ordeal here. I'm not going to fight you on it because I mean, again, you can see, they use him, but do they use Will Shipley too? This is one that I think we need to watch during camp battle. See what happens.
No, I'm going to say they don't. I'm going to say it's Kenny Gainwell right there behind Mr. Saquon. All right. Fun stuff. Killed up some time there, Andrew. You ready to draft?
Yeah. Yes, let's get to it. Do you want me to poke my head in now? For everyone, again, BBM5 draft, just in case you're confused, this is what we're going to do. BBM5 draft, get yourself ready here. I think I'm going to go ahead and pop myself in and see where we sit. Give me a moment here. I always love when Underdog does take a little bit on my phone. For some reason on my phone, it depending on where I'm at, it takes a little bit to actually get into the room. So let me see what we got going on here. 8 more to start. Plenty of time. Everyone go ahead and click on in if you want to draft with us. Good time to remind you, if you aren't in and you don't get in with us right now, feel free to use FanSpeak to claim your special first-time deposit offer. I mean, it's as simple as that. Get in here. If you're not an Underdog, what are you doing? You listen to best ball content. You're not an Underdog. What are you in that fucking DraftKings nonsense? Get out of here. Unless you can't get an Underdog, then I feel bad for you. But
Unreal. Shout out to Spread and Tyler working on the DK love for us here at Fanspeak.
He said, which one is it? BBM5, the $25 one there, Jakey.
3 people left there, Jake, if you're trying to get in. 3 people left. No time to deposit.
Jake, well, had it. Then they took it away in Michigan for what seemed like ever, I'm sure, to Jake. And now they brought it back. So he's back in the streets. Draft starts soon. Hopefully we got everybody in here. Speaking of the old Jake, number 4 sitting. Oh, I can't even remember the last time I did a draft with Jake Paquin. This is exciting. So let's see. We got Jake in the 4 spot. We have the Detroit Lions in the 5 spot. Bruni, if you want to pull up the draft, you are sitting right smack dabby in the middle at the 6th spot. We have my buddy Wiles 14 in the 10th spot. Surprised he hasn't been in the chat. I know he's watching. Then we have friend of the program, of course, Indiana Jones, aka Team Ramrod, sitting at the 11th spot, and I am in the caboose, the number 12. So I've great drafting with 2 people I draft with a lot in Ginder and Jake Wiles, that is. Also another Jake, 2 Jakes in here, J squared. I draft with them a ton, so they obviously know what I'm going to be doing. So this is going to be an interesting draft.
Party on.
He said, "Coach me through this, buddy." Second draft. It's all right, Jake. You'll get back in there. Don't worry. It's all right. He said,
will catch on.
The other Jake checking in. It's almost bedtime. I'm sacrificing sleep to draft. AKA True Best Ball DGen.
So whereas last year I would enter a lobby and then boom 101, boom 101. Dude, the 1-6 is where I have been parked this year. It is crazy that I keep getting 6s. This is nuts. And I honestly don't mind because I love him on Raw. He keeps falling into my lap. I may take him here. But man, I just keep getting 6s. Justin Jefferson has fallen to me a few times at 6. I don't hate it. I'll take it every time. Thank you. I'm going to do it right now. Jesus. Thank you for. The guy named Detroit Lions took him on Raw.
Our boss and co-founder of Fanspeak, Meg, checking in. She said every time I watch Andrew, he's in the 12th spot. Meg, I'm telling you, it's 12 or 1 for me. Like I either get 9 through 12 or 1. I don't get a whole lot of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It just hasn't happened yet. But yeah, damn. I need to stop doing these on the stream. Always in the 12th spot. Yuck.
And the last time that you were in the 12, Ramrod was in the 11.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely. Hey, do me a favor. Don't draft Marvin Harrison and Jahmyr Gibbs, okay?
I don't know. Maybe I'll do it again. Who knows?
God, don't do it again. Puka 11. I'd like to see that.
Doing it. I'm doing it. Just kidding. I'm going to take Gibbs, though. I'm going to take Gibbs and probably switch it up here a little bit because I don't want to go Harrison again. I'm not high on the whole London thing. I know you are. We'll have that conversation at some point again. I think I would rather take Olave. I know that's going to be crazy sounding, but man,
do it. I dare you. Do it.
Tough in the streets. Adams is there too. I like Adams. Just for your dismay, I'm doing it again. Let's do it. But I'm going to change it up this time. Last time I did a lot more running backs up top. I'm not going to do that again. So let's see how the team pans out when I just do some wide receivers.
You've got more red flags than a Darren Waller song. This is ridiculous.
Oh, damn. Wow. I love that.
Unreal.
Like Rob checking in. Andrew is always a bottom and never a top. Who would have none? And I mean draft order, of course. Right.
Duh.
I mean, why do the work when someone will do it for you? Am I right, Mike?
What?
He said I'd rather be on the bottom.
Yeah. No, I got it. Why do the work when someone else will do it for you? No, I got it. I get it.
Put that on a t-shirt. You're welcome. There you go, Jake. There's your next, or pick one anyway. I'm gonna call JP and JW. We got Jake Wiles, Jake Paquin, both in the chat, both drafted.
JPev with some love for Nico. That feels high.
Oh yeah, we have a JPev. Look at that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Give me Devontae Adams at what is that? Pick 19. It's right at ADP, but I get him a lot earlier. I
love that. Yeah.
Yeah. JJ and Devontae. Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Are you taking Adams over everybody that went in front of him? In the second round, that is not the first round. Yes. I will take Devontae at 13 every time. I mean, I don't. I obviously mix it up. But Devontae, to me, other than the running backs of Saquon and Taylor, is the best round 2 value. Is it?
at the end of every video, I say that this is not for kids. It's part of my job.
Not recommended.
Yeah, this is not recommended for children. Like what? Huh? How much it costs to do Best Ball Mania every year? You should not be telling a 12-year-old to be, doing that. Like, you should save
Bruni,
up your money, go to college.
Have you done the
Don't blow
Greyhound
it
yet?
all in Best Ball?
Bruni, have you done the Greyhound?
No.
Okay.
You know how I am. It's BBM or die. It's just, I'm riding the wave, and sometimes I'm going to be sunk like the Titanic, like last year trying to get into the finals. Other times it's going to be just like the fuck them kids. You tell them, Jake. And other weeks it's just going to be like, oh, hey, look, like I have the same advance rate as like, my best ball heroes. This is crazy. What have I done? How did I do this?
Yep. What? Hey, you never know. We might be somebody's best ball heroes.
It's true. It's true. I know. Where is he? I got him right here. Where is he? There he is. Indiana Jones. He just received. I know he's had Andrew Raub pajamas for a while. He just got his Bruni pajamas. They just came.
Raub pajamas. Love it. All right, Jake,
they
big
let
one
me do
up
this.
on the board or up on the clock here. He has Tyreek and Jaden or Waddle. I think I was wondering if Achan had made it to him. Would he have taken the triple Dolphin stack?
Dude,
Jake, let us know in the chat. Would you have done that?
Look
to me,
at
that would have been interesting.
JJ, Devontae, Stephon Diggs. Oh my god. Oh my Lanta.
Oh,
I like that.
See, he said yes, 100%. That would have been interesting. I would have loved to see how that build would have turned out. I'm going to be up here in 3 picks. We got obviously Wiles and Gindy before me. They are both 2 wide receivers. So let's see what happens here. I think there might be some potential opportunities here for them to veer off the path if they want.
Kelsey, wow, first tight end off the board by Mr. Ray Lewis. That's not normal.
Ray Lewis, man, shout out to him. Oh, he takes up, so he's 3 wide receiver. Laporta sitting there. That is interesting.
Oh, Zay Flowers, Ramrod.
I mean, might as well, right? Let's do it because I already got Gibbies.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's a nice little fall. What's his ADP at?
His ADP was 29.
Yeah, so a nice little fall there. I mean, with Kelsey going at 33, I mean that helps out obviously a ton.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, Ginder.
All 3 of my receivers, by the way. All 3 of my receivers. Dome game, week 17. Let's go.
Oh, nice. All right, let's see how you fuck this up.
Yeah, absolutely. Merry Christmas, Andrew.
Oh, thanks, I guess, for even though you did Flowers and Lamar, I'm assuming that's what you wanted to do, right? Or were you saying that because you gave me
No, he didn't want to do that. He did it for you.
Oh, right. He would do anything for love.
I think he's around 10 pick.
Meatloaf?
Jordan Love.
Oh, nice.
Temple. Get it? You got it. Okay.
I got it. McBride was interesting. Bruni, how much would you have hated me if I double tapped Laporta McBride there?
It would be way better than your last draft.
Because then I would have had 2 Detroit and 2 Arizona picks back to back like that.
I'm trying to make my pick here, and you and just about everybody else is blowing me up right now. You're talking to me.
God, you said me up after that because you said blowing, and then just kind of paused. I was like, "Wow, this is definitely not for kids anymore."
This guy, he can't keep us out of the gutter tonight. I swear.
I do live in the gutter. Meatloaf.
I took Josh Jacobs.
Draft pick.
Let's go. Domes in 17.
Yikes.
Let's go.
Oh, man, you hate to see that. Yikes. Josh Jacobs. Eesh. Tough. Unreal. You and spread. The spread's in the chat. Spread, tell him how much you love that.
You're a hater.
I like how this guy's name is Pigskin in a Blanket. That's nice wordplay. Well done there. I just realized that. Well done.
Pigskin in a blanket. Get the fuck out of here. One of these leagues I'm in on Sleeper just started blowing up my phone while I was trying to make my pick. I absolutely hate that shit. Like, I'm in the middle of something. Stop it.
Right when I talk myself into Jacob, Bruni steals him. Well, obviously, Paquin was a fan of that. Oh, I mean, but he got James Cook. I love that, Jake. Love that.
I was thinking about taking Jalen Hurts just because he was a little bit farther down in ADP, but I'm good with it.
Yeah. I do like so Wiles, friend of the program. I do like his start. Wilson, London, Cup, Dell. I mean, I'm not much of a London guy. I could have potentially went a different way. Adams maybe there. But I love Cup, and Tank Dell as his wide receiver 4 is very interesting. I assume if I know him, he's going to try to just take the old Stroud potentially coming up here, and probably maybe Matt Stafford. There's good stacking opportunities still with those guys. Dog on the clock.
Let's go with Mark Andrews. Get a little week 17 action there.
You just stifled Gindy. Ooh. That's
does that hurt?
The voodoo doll that he has of you is getting poked right now. Just so you know that.
It's all good. It's all. Ooh, that felt good actually. A little massage there in my neck.
Let's see. He said, "Damn nut, mean to get Mixon there." Oh, he went to go click Mixon and click Cook. Is that what you did?
I don't know.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Oh no. He meant. I think he meant instead of Keenan Allen.
I don't know. I was just gonna say the draft is getting pretty hot with the receivers here.
Still plenty of guys. Plenty of guys.
No, there's guys left, obviously, but it feels a little bit of a faster pace in this round.
Lost him to RB list and panicked. It's all right, Jake. You said it's your second one in, buddy. You'll get into form. You know that we create fantasy endurance athletes.
That's true. That's true.
Look at this guy. All 5 wide receivers. Man, how can that get messed up?
That's what I'm saying is there's definitely a little bit more aggression here. Even Jake, he's got 4-1. You got Wiles, he's 5-0. A lot of teams with 3, a lot of teams with 4. Mo Flavors, he's 4-1.
Mo Flavors, Mo problems.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
You know what? I mean, I don't have a whole lot of Jaden Reed. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm actually gonna probably take Mixon's interesting there. I don't think I want to go another running back though, so I think I'm gonna take. Yeah, I'll take the upside of Worthy.
Dude, I need to turn off Sleeper right now. These dudes are just like, they're talking about why Traylon Burks was dropped in this 20-team league. Like, there's 20 teams. He shouldn't have been dropped. Like, bro, no one cares. He's not good. Stop talking about it. There goes Mixon to Ramrod. Wiles with Pitts, staying off the RB train. Respect. Respect.
I'm trying to go through my team, look at my week 17 correlational stuff here.
Oh, a little digging time. A little time to dig in.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what. So now that I'm looking just at different things here, another thing I want to watch in camp is the battle for the tight end position on the Rams. You know, Davis Allen. I like Davis Allen. I like his athleticism, but they have Colby Parkinson. Obviously, Higbee's there, but probably not going to start the year. So that's one that I think is interesting because the Rams do have a good, tight end situation there. You know how they use them. So definitely something else I'll be keeping an eye on. How you feel?
Yeah,
about
that's a huge wait and see situation.
Yeah.
I mean, Higbee could actually be a value the closer we get to kickoff. If they say, "Oh yeah, he's going to be back week 7, week 8," like, "Oh, okay, snap, we can do that."
Yes.
They play Cardinals indoors, so all good. Week 17.
You're right.
Aaron Jones to Paquin. I almost took him there just to get him paired up with that week 17 with Vikings Minnesota. I just felt a little bit too far ahead of ADP, so I went Godwin. Get a little bit more depth at receiver because it looks like receivers getting tore up this draft. Toe up. David Montgomery about to come off the board at ADP. But will he go? He'll probably go to the Detroit guy. Probably like right ahead of me.
Detroit, what? Detroit, baby.
Who? Detroit win. Detroit where?
Nah, I'm talking about Eminem. Come on, man.
You said Detroit who? I said
No,
Detroit
I said
where?
Detroit, what?
And then I said Detroit win.
You're off of
How?
it.
What? When? Where?
Mm-hmm. How? Sam How?
Sam Howell. I took a bunch of Sam Howell on the big board. I don't care. There he is, David Montgomery, right on time.
Yep.
Time.
Love it.
I am not going to take. I was thinking about it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take Evan Ingram.
You're not going to take the double. Yep. I wanted to ask you that after you make your pick about a situation here for you.
Yeah, I don't love the situation. I'm actually going to be a little bit different here and grab some Ramondre because I still like Ramondre.
So if you would have known that Ingram would have been right here, would you have taken somebody else instead of Andrews up there?
No, I have plenty of Ingram. Yeah, okay. It's not a priority. I was just thinking, I was like, maybe I want to go a little bit more elite on my tight ends. And I was like, no, I'm good.
Sorry. I think we missed this.
We did.
Going RB there instead of Jameson. I actually like Jameson there for him.
We said 2 minutes ago, so I think that was Aaron Jones.
Yeah, he said Jameson or JSN. I like the Jameson factor. Yeah.
Jameson.
Yep. Yeah, I like that. Moving back, I think that you're fine to go RB here because obviously when you look down the board, this is the RB zone that is fine. That we were talking about before. So yeah, I think you did it correctly there, Jake.
We're at a pretty good pace here too. We're at the end of round 7. Look at this guy.
Look at Wiles over here. Double elite tight end, both on bye week 12. So well played there. Man, his bye weeks are going to be an issue for him potentially here down the stretch, especially if he stacks.
Plus EV for us.
All right. Well, I'm going to do it here. I'm going to take Kyler, get the old Marvin Harrison correlation there. And then
Jared Goff. Take Jared Goff ahead of ADP. Do it.
What? No, I don't even care if I get Jared Goff. That's not even like what my concern is here.
I want someone to snipe Jared Goff from the Detroit Lions guy.
Give me both Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. No Patrick Mahomes stack either. Let's go.
Did you take Rice at ADP though?
I did. It felt okay with the way because I figure like both those guys have upside on a week in and week out basis when Rice plays, if he doesn't get suspended. So yeah, I'm fine with that, man. You got to be a little different every now and again, buddy. I don't love it either. I agree with you. I'd rather take him at like 100, but I didn't know if he was going to make it back, and I'm all right with it.
No, making it back to 108 would have been difficult, but because you had Worthy, I don't know. I just like some other pieces here. Do you, King, go off?
I feel. But now, look at it this way too. Like until we go another 2 rounds, then the wide receivers kind of become more interesting again. Like there's no wide receivers here. You're gonna take Curtis Samuel and I don't know. I don't like those guys.
Like Curtis Samuel, but I wouldn't take Curtis Samuel at that ADP either. So I hear what you're saying. I mean, if the news goes right his way one of these days, then he might be just a good value at that ADP. But man, Buddy's got shit for luck. Just bad luck going on.
Yeah, it's funny. Ginder took the guy I was contemplating taking. I was going to take Najee there. So good pick there, Gindy. I don't know if I love it for your build with the 3, having the 3 running backs there, but outside of that aspect of it, I like Najee. Wiles went Zamir White. Yeah, I don't know. If I say Jake, they're both going to look. So Wiles, if he didn't take Najee, would you have taken Najee over Zamir White?
Me?
No, not you. Did I say? Come on, son. Pay attention.
No, I was looking at the draft board. I didn't hear what you said. That's why I said
talking
me?
to Wiles. Talking to Wiles 14.
Well, he's been quiet in the chat, so I don't know.
He's here. I know he is.
Well, he must be writing a paragraph for you then.
Oh man, look
running at back avalanche. Holy cow! Look at round 8.
Yeah, dude. This is why I took a wide receiver.
Yeah, that's fair. How many? How are you looking at running back though? You just have Gibbs.
I only have Gibbs. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
We're in the round to take a running back. Just saying.
Well, hey, look. We talked about a lot of these guys coming up. We also really like.
No, 1,000%. Wiles though just doesn't have any running backs, and I know he's going to be down your throat. Ginder's not going to do you any
God,
favors.
please don't say it like that. Nobody clip that.
Now
He's
they
gonna be
have
down
to.
your throat. Jeez. What a guy.
Jeez. Right up your alley, huh? Huh?
Thank
Right
God
up
you
your
said
alley.
You started saying an A thing, and I thought it was about to get weird again here. Hey, Bruni, just out of curiosity, buddy, when are you going to get your badge?
Shut up. Just be quiet.
Jake Ross says, pause. That's funny. Yeah, seriously,
You know
you're
what's
going to hit
hard?
up Underdog, or, I mean, you act like we
No,
don't
I'm
know
not going to
people
hit
who
up
work for them.
Underdog. Like, hey,
Hit
can
up-
I have my badge, please? I've spent enough money.
Hit up Hope
No.
and just be like, hey, out of seriousness, like, who can I contact to, like, ask him, like, what's up with the badge thing?
They're going to tell, I know what they're going to tell me. They're like, hey, buddy, you haven't won anything of substance other than some regular
You
season
had
winnings.
to have won some stuff that got you to that threshold.
Yeah, I know. I did. I won a fair amount from my advance rate and from having enough teams in the top 10,000, but that's about it. And I believe the last time that we spoke with Hope, she had said that they like increased like their qualifications for badges or something. So my guess is like I probably need to win like 5,000. And I probably haven't cashed out 5,000. I've cashed out probably closer to like 4,000.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. With a lot of that being just my winnings last year from BBM4 for the regular season.
Yep. I feel.
And now I lose sleep every single night knowing that I'm going to continue to max this tournament out and I need to make the finals. I have to make the finals to make the same amount of money I made last year, which is scaring the living hell out of me.
Yeah.
Pot committed, Andrew. Pot committed.
Okay, I gotta just get myself to not take Eckler again because God Almighty, do I take?
It's hard. It's
no.
very, very difficult. It's very difficult.
Oh man, I really
just
want
had
to take Daniels
B
too.
Rob ahead of ADP just to do that.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna take Gus Bus, which was hard for me too because I like some of those other running backs there a lot too. But I want to get a little bit more Gus Bus. I think he can be a guy that rises up. Rise up! Oh.
Clip that.
He said, "Go ahead and Venmo me $1 million." Look at this guy.
That's not how it works. They don't Venmo you, Jake. They don't use that.
They will PayPal you.
They will PayPal you.
I think honestly, if I would win the top prize of 1.5, I would ask them if they could just get me a large check. I want a big check.
Oh yeah, super big check. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm like, I'll drive to wherever you need me to pick it up, but I want it.
If they don't, I'm gonna make my own. I don't care. I don't. I will have a huge check in my house that says I won Best Ball Mania 5. 1,000%. I was at some guy's house today. I work in outside sales. I go to people's homes.
You were at some guy's house today? Wow, sweet.
Yeah. And he had a big check in his basement. Shut up.
Nice.
I was like, dude, that's a big check.
10-4.
It was like he won it at a golf tournament, like for like $1,000. I was like, dude, that's a big check. He's like, yeah.
I won a golf tournament. We didn't get a big check. Actually, me and Wiles 14 here won it together. We didn't get no big check.
It was like for charity for like a bunch of rich people. So I mean, they dressed it up. It's
They're
like having a fantasy football league with a championship belt. Pomp and circumstance.
Okay, Bruni, I gotta ask before you make your pick here. Are you really gonna let your boy just keep following here, or are you just gonna take him out of just because?
Caleb?
Yeah, dude.
Why didn't you take Jaden, your boy?
I'm just saying. I said that. I said I thought about it.
I'm just saying.
I mean, he's. Oh, man, I'm surprised.
I'm just saying.
I'm surprised you passed on that. I won't lie.
Why? I have any Bears receivers. I have Swift, but
So what? You could have got Komet. You could have got Roshan later. There's ways to stack that.
I will tell you that it's probably a good idea to draft Caleb Williams now because after Hard Knocks starts, it's going to be out of control.
JKP taking Williams. Now, I think he does have a Bears.
He has Keenan. Yeah, it's a good pick.
Yeah, that's right. Keenan. Yeah. And he can still stack.
Jake's all in. He's all in on Caleb.
Nah, I don't think he's all in. He understands value. He understands the plus EV move when he sees it.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick. He's way after ADP. But you know what? There's other guys I can get way after ADP. Goff won't fall, but Herbert could fall. Cousins could fall. Stafford could fall. Rodgers.
He said so. He was talking to Ray Lewis for costing him the ship.
Oh, damn!
What a guy,
Uncle Ray, not being so dope. Not being so dope.
Two was sniped from him. Damn. Yeah,
Did
I mean,
Tua go
Jake,
ahead of ADP?
looking back at it now, you probably should have took Tua instead of the Javonte Williams thing there. That probably would have been the play for you, but I understand, buddy. I understand. It's all right.
That's why we need our reps. Every Thursday, 9:30, jump in.
That's right.
I mean, it'll probably be at like 10:30 because we have things to talk about. Okay.
Also, if anybody's in the chat and needs some design work done, I've seen Jake Paquin, absolutely smash some design. So hit him
up close.
Get at him on the old X Twitter.
I can't believe that guy passed up on Jared Goff right there. It's kind of pissing me off. It's kind of making me a little upset. I don't love. You know what? Screw it.
I mean, you like Myers, don't you? I'm not gonna lie. That's what. Damn,
I've taken a lot of Myers.
Yeah, but you could. I mean, that's a nice stack to get with him and Adams, and then, your boy AOC. Actually, no, that's right. You're a Gardner guy.
Yeah, I haven't gotten as much Wicks as I've gotten Myers, and I pulled him up. I pulled him up the board, but I made the stack with him, Jacobs, and Love.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. Oh fuck, Jake, brother or Wiles, JW, son of a bitch.
Zeke
taking the old Blake Corum.
Zeke, he's right there. Oh, Jerome Ford. You're going to take Jerome Ford easy.
I'm going to take Jared Goff.
Well, that just makes sense. Suck it, Lions.
And then, man, I can't take Jerome Ford, dude.
Dude, you better take Zeke then, dude.
No, I can't take Jerome Ford. I'm just kidding. I'm definitely taking Jerome Ford. Are you out of your damn mind? We just got done talking about how this is an absolute smash play. I do need to stop though. He's already my most exposed running back in BBM, and there's no end in sight. So at some point, I'm going to need to just kind of make myself not do that anymore.
Sure, you can try. You probably won't succeed.
Sure. I mean, it's a good value. Somebody talk me off the ledge. Is it not a good value? Are we crazy here?
No, Jerome Ford's a great value, dude. It's like stupid good. You brought his name up.
Gindy took my boy, Dotson. Love that. I should say our boy. He's also a Penn State fan. Not a Washington fan, though. Stupid Eagles fan.
You brought him up before that I could build a stack with him. I think I'm going to take Cole Kmet here.
Nice. Good deal. Hopefully this guy doesn't do it.
Yeah, he might. Who knows? I'm good. I can pivot. There
you go.
You did not take him, so we're taking Cole Kmet.
Well done.
Yes, sir. So I've got Jacobs, Ramondre Swift, and then Jefferson, Devontae, Diggs, Godwin, Shakir, Wicks, Andrews, and Kmet, and Jordan Love up top. According to Darren Waller, in this life, it's hard to love. It's hard to love.
Rough.
Yeah. And because of that, sometimes you need to take some time to heal. You know what I'm saying? Take some time to heal.
I do.
I lied when I said on Twitter I was going to draft Darren Waller, but I am going to continue to drop lyrics from that amazing jam that he dropped.
A jam.
Put it on a sandwich with PB and J.
Well done.
Just
jam.
Ultimate jams.
So
which
Jake
RB?
Paquin asking which RB. So I mean, I'll give
Chandler.
him two. Yeah, I'll say Lloyd or Chandler. Okay, well there goes Lloyd. I would then take Chandler personally.
Chandler, yeah. I'm taking Chandler over over Wright every time.
After that, Jake, if you want to go with your Dolphins build, I mean Jalen Wright is there, so that works. But I'll take Chandler over any of the other guys left.
He does, but he missed out on Tua, and I don't think he needs to continue to.
Oh, never mind. Well, it's a mute point. There you go. Yeah, Chandler for sure.
Yeah, Chandler lands in your lap.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Well, he does have Aaron Jones, so that kind of correlates and kind of, I don't know. I mean, it's fine.
It's all good. It'll work out for you. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry. You can trust us, pal.
Don't worry.
You can trust me, buddy. What do I want to do here? Shmee. I'm really indecisive right here, Andrew. You know what? Let's go with little Mr. Luke Musgrave, and we'll put a cap on these here tight ends. Oh, okay. Clock expired. Matthew Stafford. Awesome. As I'm tapping. Awesome. I love when that happens.
Yikes.
It's not great. It's not
I
ideal.
would indeed say probably not what you were hoping for there, huh?
No, not really. At least he doesn't have the same bye week as Jordan Love. We'll figure something out. We'll work somebody in there. Demarcus Robinson, maybe. We'll see. I'm probably gonna do 3 QBs then. I'll probably take any assortment of Baker, Minshew. Yeah, one of those two. I can live with it. Ramrod gets Musgrave. Okay, it's like that.
Yeah.
It's like
that
that.
time of the draft now where I'm like, okay, I can be persuaded to kind of take some correlation here. So now I'm just taking some correlation stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We're coming up on round 14 here. At the end of the draft, we will have draft reviews, Wiles, Paquin, Ginder, our teams as well. If you have been sniping the chat like the king of Quebec last week, by all means, stand up, take a bow.
Have you
Let's
seen that he's
see.
been in multiple of our drafts now? Like he was
I
the
know.
one with Megan them the other day, and he's in it now. King of QC,
Yeah,
can't quit
absolutely.
us.
King of Quebec, he's here. And since I've been calling him the king of Quebec, I've received zero pushback from him on that. So I'm going to continue to throttle that he is the king of Quebec.
While you're on the clock here, or about to be on the clock, I do want to remind everybody, if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know that when we are going live. Fanspeak is live 4 times a week doing live drafts. So if you are best ball sickos like ourselves, please feel free to jump in any of the drafts that Spread, Tyler, Meg, Steve, any of us do. Obviously, Bruni and I. Visit fanspeak.com as well. Lots of great articles on there. Rookies, when to pair who with, different things. Steve and Meg are always writing articles up there. So feel free to go over there. Plus, they have draft tools as well. So please feel free to hop over to fanspeak.com, check all that out. And lastly, again, if you aren't signed up for Underdog, Fanspeak, use your promo code FANSPEAK to get a double deposit up to, is it still up to 250 or is it back down to 100? Do you know?
I think it's still at 250.
It's still 250? Okay. You heard it here first. Go ahead, do it. Feel free to get us at us on Twitter. He is at Best Ball Bruni. I'm at ARAUB23. Thank you, everybody.
Jake was asking how many running backs. I said 6 because he had drafted Jones and Ty.
Yeah, I would say 6 is probably good. Adam Thielen at 158 is a disgrace. Yeah, disgracefully too high.
I'm not even gonna get into it. That's probably was that Wiles that said that?
Yeah.
Because Ramrod drafted
Jake,
him.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, because Ramrod drafted him. Because I was like, dude, you don't even need receivers. You started with like 5. You don't need Thielen, Wiles. No, I still can't get off of Thielen as my 6th, 7th, or 8th receiver. I know. Shame me. Throw me in the streets. I just saw
that there was an alert that made, I don't know why I saw these notifications on, but there was a podcast that's going to be coming on. I won't mention them, but they do more than just talk fantasy. They talk other things. But to me, it's like, why do that? If I want to listen to a fantasy podcast, that's all I want to hear is fantasy. So just PSA for everybody. Make sure you check out podcasts that only talk about, what they're supposed to talk about.
Okay. I feel you. Aaron Rodgers, 20 spots after ADP. I mean, a little too close to a rock in his shoe today, I guess. I want to take him, but I just can't out of principle. So,
well, if you don't, Wiles might.
That's fine. I don't care. What do I want to do here? I guess I'm just going to take Baker because he's well after ADP too, and I actually need some correlation there. So yeah, I get Baker 10 spots after. I'm okay with that. The Stafford pick just threw us off, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, I feel you.
We're just going to leave the 2 tight ends, and we'll build up the other spots. We'll just fade that. So we're just looking at running back and receiver for me to close it out here, which I'm very comfortable with. Love a lot of the guys back here. What are you thinking with this Patriots start here? Are you going to build on that a little bit? Or are you going to get some Baker or some Polk or any of those guys?
Maybe potentially. Yeah, I'm not taking Drake. I'm not taking any of that nonsensical, but I could take Polk potentially. I mean, there is the correlation that I have going as well. So we'll see. We shall see.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, because
I'm going to try to get. I think I'm going to try to get Demarcus Robinson with my next pick. Maybe try and save the Stafford pick a little bit, but we'll see if anyone wants to snipe me here. I'm really fine getting some of these guys naked. I'm assuming Ginder's going to get Bateman here.
Oh, another sweet clip by you. You don't mind getting those guys naked?
Unreal. Yes, naked is a very best ball term.
I know. It's just sometimes when you say it, it catches me.
Yeah, I get it. And yeah, you say the word wiener. Oh, hey, stop traffic. Dude said wiener.
Man.
Holy cow.
Oh, that's so funny.
Get out of here. You must have been terrible in middle school. You must have just been a fucking
the worst
disease in the classroom.
The worst.
The worst. Andrew, go write your name on the board. Gladly. I don't have much of Demarcus Robinson. Let's see if it's going to happen. He's down here in total ADP. I'm thinking I can make it, but I'm thinking one of these dudes is going to also snipe me, so we'll see. I think Ray Lewis is in the chat. Seems like something a murderer would do. Try to snipe people.
Said didn't see Damien.
Well, now you know, buddy. Now you know.
Now you know. It said
Chubba's not a bad pick. Chubba's not a bad pick though at that ADP, as we already talked about. Like, it's a good situation this year.
Yep. Oh, Ginder taking the guy.
The team's going to be better too.
Imagine
like the Panthers are going to be better than they were last year. They're going to score more points. It's going to be a good situation for Chubba and Brooks, both. Let's see, J Pev. What are you doing, Pev? You got to get yourself some Titans, Pev. That Will Levis pick. I think he took Ridley ahead of ADP because I wanted Ridley. I got the Chig. There it is. More Tennessee stacks. Let's go. Because you wouldn't want to be Tennessee naked. Naked. He said naked. Oh, my God. There it is. Demarcus Robinson, Matthew Stafford. It's a pretty bad Rams stack, but we're here. We're out here.
Van Jefferson 2.0. Congrats.
Maybe I'll grab Tutu Atwell. No one's drafted Tutu Atwell.
Honestly, I think I'd rather have Tutu.
I mean, he's going undrafted. No, DeMarcus was good for them down the stretch last year. He was actually
Tutu
pretty solid behind.
To start the year for them.
What's that?
Tutu was really good to start the year for them.
Yeah, I know. It was freaking weird, dude. They were like, it was.
You got him and Pook out.
Tutu.
They were like, this is odd.
Yeah, we're like, what the hell? Like, where's Cooper? We miss Cooper. Let's see. What am I doing here? Right now I'm at 2,472. Looking at running back. I don't know if Herbert makes it back to me, but I'll certainly flatter that. I'm definitely getting two more running backs. I think I'm good with my 7 receivers. Really top loaded with Jefferson, Adams, Diggs, Godwin. I mean, if things go right, those guys should just always be my starters. So I definitely need to do a 3-6-7-2 here. So
3-6-9. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Very good.
Zach Ertz. That's not one I see go every draft. That's wow.
I have taken Zach Ertz, but in round 18.
Yeah, good on him to do that. That's ballsy. I would not take Ertz over Conklin.
His name is Pig Skin Blanket. Okay?
Yeah, again, great name.
Great
Absolutely
name.
Fantastic.
Love the name. This is well ahead of ADP. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay? Here you go. Andrew hates it.
Kids. Yikes. Jesus.
What?
I just can't see why you want to pick him over Bigsby, Mitchell, both Mitchells, even CEH. I don't know, man. God bless you.
I have Devontae Adams. That's why. Leave me alone. You
God
bully.
bless. God, why'd that dude take a
CEH
live
is
view,
not
bro? What a
very
piece of
good.
garbage.
We literally have a bet, Alexander Madison versus CEH. Why would I take the guy I'm betting against, Andrew?
Because you're smart.
No, yeah, you're right. I
You
am
just said
smart.
you're not
I made
smart.
the right pick.
Got
Fuck
you there,
you.
motherfucker.
I hate you. I hate you. I am not smart.
Bazinga.
It's not a great draft for me. I'm going to say it's a 7.4, 7.3. I already know it's not great. I have Mark Andrews. That's cool. That's nice. That's nice. I might be taking Justice Hill on the way back just to be super diff. What about your boy Dalvin Cook? He says he's not cooked. Like, did he mean to do that?
I mean, that's a good word, play on words there. I do like that. All right. Shout out Meg on this pick.
Nice. I love that. I'm just surprised he hasn't gotten more gas up the board though.
Yeah, I think when people see him start getting into, form, that's what's going to happen.
That tends to happen. Bobby. What do I want here? Might just go with the Kenny Gainwell here, actually.
Appreciate everybody sticking with us here for the hour and 50 minutes that has taken thus far to get all
1,000%
perfection, facts,
real ones,
draft analysis for you. We'll go. Let's go in reverse order. So let's go 12 to. Well, it'd be me, Ginder, Wiles, you, save the old Jake Paquin. Welcome back to the streets. Best for last.
Let's lead off with Jake. He deserves it. Ginder's always up at the top.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't need to go second. That's not what I'm trying to do. I don't need to go
I
second.
see what you're doing here, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Miles Sanders. Here we go. Just kidding. Not doing that. Kenny Gainwell. There you go. There it is. It's not great. It's not pretty. I've done better. It's not the worst.
Hey, man, you know what? Honesty is the first step, dude. I love it.
To admitting I have a problem?
Yeah. Your team was the problem. Was the problem.
You're the problem.
It's fun being on this side of it. Normally, you're all here shitting on me.
That's true. That's true.
Bad clip again. Yikes.
Oh. 3-6-7-2. Not normal for me. I'm more of a 2-6-8-2 cat. 2-5-8-3. All right, last pick.
I like that. Paquin took CEH. There we go. My man.
He's listening. He knows. Done. Took the coaching. He took the coaching.
He had to get a Swiftie reference in here.
Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
All right. Draft finalized. Who? Oh, that says Justin Fields. Sorry, my screen looked weird. All right, let's go through these. So, as you requested, first up, Merch God himself. Check him out on Twitter, aka Jake Paquin. Went 3-6-6-3. Bold. I love it. That is what I did in the Greyhound. That's the first time I've done that. So 3-6-6-3. He went Caleb Williams, Deshaun Watson, Drake May. Running backs, James Cook, Aaron Jones, Javonte Williams, Ty Chandler, Chuba Hubbard, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Keenan Allen, Jamison Williams, and Jerry Jeudy. Tight ends, David Njoku, Cade Otton, Isaiah Likely. So he did stack let's see. So we got Caleb Williams stacked with Keenan Allen. So there you go with that. Deshaun Watson, he has stacked with Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku. Fine with it. Drake May, he has, I don't think he has a stack with that. No stack there, but third quarterback. So he wanted to obviously take the third quarterback. Don't mind, that as well. I like the team. honestly, running back room, I love James Cook. Aaron Jones is fine. Running back room feels good to me. Wide receiver room is small but mighty. I mean, you can get some massive weeks out of the Dolphins guys. Devontae Smith, Jameson Williams is like he's pretty much boomer bust as is.
Mhm.
Like the wide receiver room, I probably may have taken a 7th if I was him, but
Only because he has 2 Dolphins.
yes, I think I would have taken, instead of likely, I may have taken another wide receiver there. But his tight ends, I love Njoku, and I'm a big guy on Otten. Otten's one of my most
Mhm.
exposed tight ends. So I like the team a lot. Let's go. I'm not enough stacking and correlation for me, but I'm gonna go 7-7.
I go 7.
Straight up.
I don't think you needed the Drake May pick, and I mean, I definitely should have gotten
Fins
the 6
Browns.
running
Oh, he
backs.
is right. He said Fins Browns week 17. That yes, that is a correlation.
That is a correlation.
Yes.
Um,
I gotta
and
get
then,
my
yeah, so
flashcards up.
probably the likely and the May pick, I would have shifted to receiver, just because again, you do have 2 Dolphins there. You do have the 2 Dolphins with Cleveland and Njoku. I like that. You have Watson there, so that's good. I would just trim off the fat of May and likely, and put that value back into your running back and receiver.
Yep.
You could, I mean, you could
Overall,
have done 2-7-7-2, and I think it would have been a bit better.
Overall, though, Jake, well done for your second draft back in the streets. Welcome back, Michigan. Raise up. All right, Bruni, you're up next, buddy. Go ahead, read off your team.
I said I didn't want to go second. Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield. Running backs, we've got Josh Jacobs, Ramondre, Swift, Jalil, McLaughlin, and then Madison, Gainwell, not amazing. Jefferson, Adams, Diggs, Godwin, top heavy at receiver, followed up by Shakir, Datavian Wicks, and Demarcus Robinson. Wicks and Robinson getting stacked up with my QBs. And then Naked Andrews and Naked Komet, just big naked white guys that hopefully catch a lot of touchdowns.
Overall, so I like your QB stable. I know it's not exactly probably what you were planning on, based off of the whole
It wasn't.
Matt Stafford and
It
stuff.
didn't.
So, but I think it works with what these guys do. So I don't mind that. The running back room to me is meh. I like Jalil. Don't love the Ramondre is interesting as well. I'm not a big Jacobs guy, so that to me is kind of like I like your wide receivers though. I mean, Jefferson, Adams, and Diggs can't go wrong there. Love Godwin as well. Shakir's a very interesting guy because I mean, that's Josh Allen. There's really no dominant one there yet. Obviously, I know you like Keon Coleman, but Shakir's interesting. Wicks is getting steamed up a lot. I see a lot of people talking about him on Twitter, especially Eagles. I'm not quite there yet, but I don't mind that. And then Demarcus Robinson, I like your tight ends though. Mark Andrews, Cole Kmet, solid there. Overall, not bad. I probably not enough stacking for me. I would say 6-9.
It's not a 6-9. Take that back.
I give it a 6-9.
It's bad.
No, I give it a 6-9. It's not bad.
It's a 7-4.
We have different ways of viewing teams. So I to me, 6-9. Not bad.
All right, we'll see how bad your team is, Mister No running backs after Gibbs. We'll see.
Well, I'm not gonna go now. Next up is Wiles. Take a look at his. He went 2-6-7-3. Got Kirk Cousins, Geno, running backs Zamir White, Devin Singletary, Nick Chubb, Blake Corum, Ray Davis, Keaton Mitchell. God, it looks like he just went down the list. It was like, who did Bruni and Andrew talk about? Let's go ahead and grab that guy.
And he got them all after ADP. So the only guy that he took, actually he did take Nick Chubb ahead of ADP, but I think given the fact that he'd only drafted Singletary and White, I think that's perfectly fine as your 3, taking him a few spots ahead. But Corum, Davis, and Keaton were either all at or after ADP, so absolutely love that.
Corum from me, that rat bastard. Wait till I see him tomorrow. Wide receivers.
Unreal.
Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Cooper Kupp, Tank Dell, Hollywood Brown, Jalen Polk, and Tyler Boyd. Absolutely fine with that wide receiver room. First 4, absolute awesome. Hollywood, very good upside as well. I'm a big guy in Polk, so I like that. Boyd, it's fine. I like Boyd, but I hate the situation. Tight ends, of course, you went bully tight end here with the Pitts and Ingram, and then came back with Noah Fant. So first mark against the team is I would not have taken Noah Fant. Oh, no, shit, he had to because Pitts and Ingram on the same bye week. So, Yeah, I get why you did that now.
And
Actually,
he
I
has
take that back.
Gino, so he's got some
Yeah,
stackability there.
yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I honestly like the week 12 bye for both tight ends kind of sucks. But so I get that. But overall, pretty good team. He has some stacking here. Looks like a little correlation as well. Overall, not a bad team. Man, this one's tough because I really like the wide receiver room and the tight
Seven
end room.
five for me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna. Man, I hate Singletary though. I wish he would have took somebody different. Let's go 7.9, just under the 8. I do like it. I would have taken somebody different there though, and maybe would have did the bully tight end a little differently with not those two guys at week 12. But overall, pretty good. Wanted Conklin, but he also was week 12.
Tough.
Interesting. So yeah, not bad. 7.9 for me. What do you give it?
I said 7.5.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well done, Jake. Wiles, that is. Paquin, man. Both Jakes. That's going to be tough if they draft with us a lot this summer. We got to have to figure those two out. All right. Let's go on to Gindy, a.k.a. Team Ramrod. Quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy. Man, I need to go back and check. Every time I draft with him, I feel like he takes Jackson Purdy because he did that the last draft I drafted with him. Rashad White, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Damian Pierce, Roshan Johnson. I'll just stop right there and say running back room, awesome. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, very
Love
good.
that running back room. Wide receivers, Puka, Brandon Ayuk, Zay Flowers, JSN, Jacoby Myers, Jahan Dotson, and Adam Thielen. Yuck. Immediately down. They can't get anywhere near an 8. Just kidding. Tight ends, Luka Musgrave, Tyler Conklin, Mike Gesicki. So obviously you waited on tight end and just took 3 late. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. Quarterbacks are great. Running back room is awesome. Wide receivers, I like the first 4. Myers is fine by me. I'm not as high on him as you are. I know that. Dotson, again, fine pick. Hate Thielen. Awful. Tight ends, yeah, he mixed them together. Honestly, like, I don't mind this. I know I give him shit about the Thielen pick, but I probably give him like an 8-2. I was
gonna say I was gonna say an 8. I really like the running backs. You're gonna get 3 starters out of that group each week, so you're gonna take your pick of these 3 receivers, or 3 of these 7 receivers, I should say. And I'm really just mostly in on the top 3. I love JSN for like redraft and dynasty, but I think for best ball, it's still going to be tough with all the mouths that they have to feed there. And you're pretty weak at tight end. It might be partly because of me taking Mark Andrews. Could be, might not be. You had other options. I think one of those running back picks probably should have gone to at least one really good tight end. So I'll give it an 8. Still really good.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm up last here. I did 2-5-8-3 build. Kyler Murray, Jared Goff. Running backs, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Robinson Jr., Gus Edwards, Jerome Ford, Tank Bigsby. Wide receivers, Marvin Harrison, DK Metcalf, Jaden Reed, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Roman Wilson, Rashad Bateman, and Zay Jones. Tight ends, Sam Laporta, Hunter Henry, and Jatavian Sanders. Bruni, what say you?
You should have taken Adam Thielen over Hunter Henry.
Okay.
Not getting your one share. Your one share.
I will take 0 shares of him all year.
I like the QBs for sure. I mean, getting Murray stacked up with Harrison, Goff with Sam and Gibbs, solid. Don't love the running backs after Gibbs. I mean, I've drafted plenty of them, but as a stable, I think that's a team that's going to be floating from behind in this division. I don't think you're making it out. Quite frankly, I don't know if I'm making it out either. I think Ginder probably might actually, son of a bitch. Yeah, I like Laporta and Sanders more than just the 3, I guess. I don't know. I just doesn't seem like you need Henry if we're all right on Sanders. Like if the Fanspeak network is correct on Sanders, you're really solid there. I don't love your receivers.
Yeah, I took Henry because of the correlation week 17 with Gus Edwards. They play the Chargers.
Okay.
Again, I know I kind of forced it a little bit, but I needed a tight end at the time too. So I was fine with that. Yeah, I mean, I think my wide receivers are slightly weak. I think I can put together a good 3. I think Metcalf and Harrison are going to be fine. Again, I know we've talked about this. We don't love taking Harrison there, but they already it's a good start to a team. I don't mind it. I'm kind of with you. I do like Adams a little bit more, but I'm not going to do a ton of these like this. So I'll take it now while I can. But yeah, I think I can work in a wide receiver 3 every week between what I have there, especially with the KC guys double tapped there. I don't mind it. So yeah, I mean, I do not mind this team whatsoever. I would probably give myself about a 7.5 or so in there.
Yeah, 7.3, 7.4. Really not that dissimilar to what I would grade myself, but I like your 2.583. That's what I like. It's just more typical to what I'm doing. So I'll give you an edge. I'll say you won. You want? Is that what you want, Andrew? Your quarterbacks are good. Your quarterbacks are going to put you in the best situation, if anything.
Nice.
All right, right on, brother.
All right, dude.
Anything to share before we head out?
No, just appreciate everyone hanging in there with us. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons, join us in every single draft. We love drafting with you guys and reviewing the team. So appreciate you guys as always. See you guys next week. Meg tomorrow with if you don't follow Pat, aka Fantasy Dog Pound Pounders on Twitter, make sure you do. He's going to be on tomorrow night, 8:15 live draft with Meg. Absolutely can't wait for that one because he is a wealth of knowledge and insight. Dude has some good analytics. If you're a guy that likes to talk about some analytics and dive into some stats, he's your guy as well. So make sure to check him out. Check out his YouTube page, Fantasy Pounders. See y'all tomorrow.
Yep. Take care. Be well. Be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you.